Welcome everybody to what session is this? Session 8, I believe, of Crown of Brambles. We're
Yes.
getting up there. We're getting up there. We're about ready to we're cresting close to double digits, after which point you guys will be in the thick of the plot line. And I would argue that this session is really going to be when I start dropping some bigger MacGuffins for you guys to follow, some things for you guys to kind of latch on to.
Man's literally just said the earlier thing you were just doing was just a tutorial, and you've almost died so many times.
Yeah. He's like, now that we're out of the baby levels, I'm gonna take the kid gloves off, as I'm still getting one shot at the start of every combat.
Man, listen, I promise it's not supposed to happen.
Roll better, nerd.
It's not me. It's
You're one to talk.
Hey, not too much on me. Not too much on Miss Lumia.
Haru, we should talk.
You're
If there's something that you want for me to give Harvey to make him more durable, I will do it. Because every time we've started combat, it has kind of been like, wow, Harvey's just fucking shafted. Like, what happened?
I'm just getting like, Belle's just punching down at me.
Oh, come on.
I can't say it. You did try that last, like with the Greater Scrivardi one. You were like,
I had to play dead.
You were trying to hide, not the I'm talking about not the caravan one. I'm talking about the one with the Greater Scrivardi. You were trying to hide in the middle of the open.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. If I roll high enough, it'll work.
That is also true.
I think it has been established at this point, the manner in which I DM is that if I let you roll, I am telling you that it's possible. Even if I say something crazy like roll with disadvantage and you need a natural 20 to succeed, if it happens, I have to honor it. I will.
If it happens again, I want a little spiritual pixie in the form of an ambulance.
Okay.
Harvey starts a mile away from the rest of the party, gets ambushed. How can this happen to me?
What is happening? Maybe Harvey's
unrelated monsters.
Maybe Harvey's just cursed. Well, we might actually discover if that's the case this session. Last we left off, the party had managed to thwart the aims of the goblins that were training the Silver Scavardi in the nest that was harrying the northern area of this continent that they currently reside on in Arendipidus. Largely Henst and Zalam were suffering as a consequence of this Scavardi nest. But now that it has been vanquished, absolved, or dissolved completely, you guys have managed to get the rewards that were inside that Scavardi nest and then set back upon the path of the caravan, wherein you met up with the caravan, meeting a couple of colorful characters along with some more haggard but world weary and wizened folk who are kind of just trying to get support where it's needed in Swervel after the attack that destroyed 33% of the city. The largest city in Arendipidus being subject to such a massive destruction of its property is cause for a lot of displacement of a lot of people. And as a consequence, these caravans are setting out from multiple different areas on different continents to offer support. You guys heading from Henst to Zalam, meeting up with them after... meeting up with the caravan after they crossed the bridge of the river that kind of divides the northern continent up there, were ambushed along the way by a monster that not even the two individuals responsible for the monstrology handbook for road wardens on Arendipidus have seen before. Literally a brand new monster.
Well, they can't be that good of experts then.
True. You fought, you survived, and you managed to drive back the creature back into the woods. There were other creatures that were chasing it, seeming upset by its presence and generally trying to continue to drive it away from whatever nest perhaps that it had disturbed or something of that nature. But either way, there are a lot of questions and not very many answers, especially after meeting a brand new species of monster, so chaotically inclined, as many other monsters have been thus far, sort of random and haphazard and chaotic in the manner in which they fight. We resume now. In a dream. Harvey.
Yes.
You don't recall ever having a dream like this before.
Okay.
You aren't really in a place so much as you're just kind of in a void of space. It feels like there's solid ground beneath you, but you're not quite sure because you can't see it. Everything is misty and foggy. You can vaguely see outlines in this white sort of sheen of the world surrounding you, of perhaps a building or a door or a handle that you can grip onto that is directly in front of you. But as you look behind you and around you and above you and below you, you can't see anything aside from that. What would you do?
I wanna go through it.
Okay. You reach forwards to grip the door handle, and it feels like something's there. It feels like it's tangible, even though it's this strange, mystical, fully incorporeal thing that you're seeing. It truly is kind of like a sensory, not overload, what's the word for it? Contradiction. Your eyes are seeing something, but your body is feeling something completely different.
Okay.
You grip onto the door handle and pull it open, and as you pull, you see, not incorporeal, not vaguely outlined in any capacity, that there is a halfling man standing on the other end of the door, arms crossed, tapping his foot, looking up at you as you open.
Oh. Who are you?
Who am I? The fuck do you mean, who am I? It took you long enough to get here. Come on, come inside. Come inside. I'm your noble.
All right. What, you're my what?
Your noble. That's the name. Your noble Havelace. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Harvey.
Hi, I'm Harvey.
Yeah, I know you're fucking Harvey. I've seen it. I've seen everything that you've been doing out there, and it's wonderful. I like what you've done, but you just need to get back on track, all right? He asks you to come inside. You step in, and as you do, you see the same sort of misty, vaguely outlined stuff that you had seen before. You can see a table and some chairs. You can see what looks like it's supposed to be a fireplace. It doesn't look like it's lit from what you can tell. You can see through everything here. Nothing is corporeal to you. But you see that your noble easily pulls out a chair and sits down and then kicks his legs up on the table. Your noble he's this very, very short man, is maybe like 2.5, 3 feet tall. He's got like shaggy black hair, piercing blue eyes, somewhat pale skin, but rounded features, generally speaking. And he's wearing what looks like black leathers with this super thick black scarf that drapes around his neck and almost hides the lower part of his face. Like, not quite, but almost does. But he kicks his boots up on the table and leans back in the chair and he's like, "Take a seat, Harvey."
All right. Well, I'm gonna first see if I can even touch. Am I able to touch the chair?
You can touch the chair, much like you can touch the door. It's still very strange, but you can touch it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cautiously sit/squat, hover over the chair.
Okay. There is like a moment where you're kind of like, am I just gonna fall through it? I'm not sure. You sort of apply some pressure to it. Kind of like put your hand on it first before you sit down, just to make sure, and it does hold your weight. You see a noble starts picking his teeth with what looks like a lockpick of some type, and he goes, "All right, this is the first time that I've been able to get to you. I've been trying this for a long time. Do you know who I am? You didn't know my name, but have you seen my face before?"
Can I roll?
You can absolutely roll a history check. Yeah.
I'm gonna try that. Where are my dice going? Oh.
We'll take the 14.
Okay. It just like zoomed out.
Yeah.
Past me. It was weird.
Hailspire Jank is funny. So 14 plus whatever your bonus is to history.
I definitely. Oh, I do have a +1 to history, so 15.
15. Okay, 15 is enough. In the past, you have on very rare occasions, had seriously vivid dreams. Dreams that are hard for you to remember upon waking up, but dreams that, when referenced by something incidentally, for instance, let's say you see like a black cat in a dream and then you see a black cat in real life, you'll remember that part of your dream. And as he references, like, have you seen my face before? You have. In your dreams, you have seen his face. Only ever as a background character or as someone who's inconsequential, but you have seen his face before.
Okay. I feel like I have, but you're pretty good at staying incognito.
Right, you know, I appreciate that, actually. I'm in the business of doing the incognito stuff, as it certainly seems that you are too. Birds of a feather, am I right? Now, I'm only the 7th of 7. You're the 8th. And there are 6 others that you're gonna need to make contact with, and it's gonna take you some time. I've got some time to explain it to you here, but our connection is a little bit thin. So ask your questions to figure out what the fuck is going on here, because honestly, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. My old party always said that I didn't have all the answers. Just let me know what you want to know, and I'll answer it for you.
Okay, I'm the 8th what?
You're the 8th reincarnation of the soul. This soul, this one that you and I are a part of, this is the 8th time that it's been alive. I was the 7th, and I'm dead now. But you're alive. The soul was reincarnated.
So, are we the same? Are we the same person?
No, I don't think so. It's hard to say. Are you irritable and stupid? That's what everyone always used to call me.
I feel kind of stupid sometimes.
All right, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. Listen. I'm your noble, and the previous one, her name was Giora Winterlace. She was a wood elf, she was a ranger, she was very observant. She helped me a lot on my path. I'm gonna try to do the same for you, but hopefully we can manifest Giora in some capacity here. I'm gonna tell you what I know. When I was alive, I was hunting for this thing called the Crown of Brambles. Alright? The Dragon Queen's been plotting some terrible things regarding the crown, but I myself knew very little about it. I was the rogue for my party of adventurers, seeking to, topple the plot and keep her from getting the crown, but I know neither hide nor hair of where it is or what it's supposed to do. There was another member of my party that did know, and her name was Roxanne Lamore, the Diamond. That was her name. She called, well, other people called her the Diamond, but she was Roxanne Lamore. You can find her if you can find the White Elder Dragon. He is staring daggers into you. He's like,
My eyes are like dinner plates right now.
He's trying to gauge like if there's any recognition for anything he's saying. And he goes like, all right, look. A lot of this is probably going over your head. God, it feels fucking weird to be in like a passenger.
I'm just saying, man. I basically just understood rogue in that whole thing.
Okay, all right. Oh God, I thought I was the stupid one. Okay, listen. You gotta get your head in the game. You gotta find Roxanne Lamore. You gotta find the Diamond. She was my old Spellblade party member. She's still alive out there.
Okay.
I don't know where the fuck she is. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you.
But she's with the White Elder Dragon.
Yeah, they're friends. I wish
is
I knew
that
why.
is that a person or an actual beast?
Oh, the White Elder Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the White Elder Dragon.
Cool nickname?
No, it's like 1/5 of Aurelio the Dragon God.
Okay,
it's like the Brothers' War and all that happened way back when the Golemon hit him with the hammer.
He's gotta have a house.
The dragon?
Yeah, he's gotta live somewhere.
He's fucking huge.
I know.
How's he gonna live
He needs
in
a lot of.
house?
I don't know. He needs a lot of fucking space.
Be a big fucking house, man.
So that we could probably narrow it down to a country, right?
You probably Roxanne's supposed to be an Serendipitous. That's where I died.
All right. Okay, cool.
My body's somewhere out here, actually. If you could find my body, I had some really cool fucking daggers on it. They're all yours if you find them. I'll try to pit.
Where did you die?
It was somewhere in the south of Arendipodus in the... Sorry, I had steak for dinner. I'm burping it up. Sorry, that was also parsley bell. I died in the south of Arendipodus, where there's this massive war going on between the nations of Karanak, and they're being all sons of bitches, and I hate it down there. But that's where I died, and it's super dangerous down there, so I don't suggest you go down there right now. I think Roxanne is a smart enough person to have gotten out of there when the rest of us died.
Okay. Is there anybody else in your party that you would like me to get in contact with?
Well, we're all dead.
Do you have a message for
Roxanne.
Do you have a message for Roxanne, or do you just want me to like say hey?
I mean, not really. No mess. I mean, aside from like, give this kid the shtick, let him know what's going on. I guess. What? You know what? Tell her fuck you for fucking up that counterspell. That fireball that did me in, and she was trying to counterspell it, and she fucked it up.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
Tell her.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't want to reopen old wounds.
I'm gonna need some kind of proof, so she's not just like thinking I'm a crazy guy.
I mean, if you just say your noble Havelace sent me from beyond the grave. She's a somewhat magical individual. She understands that souls are a little mercurial, they're weird in the way that they work. I'm sure she'll believe you. It won't be a problem.
Okay.
He kind of like waves his hand, like he's like, yeah, it won't be a problem. Like, absolutely, it could definitely be a problem, but he's very much just like, don't worry about it. Well, it's been a long time that I've been a passenger here, and I finally am actually able to get to you. I'd like to make this a regular thing if we could, just so I can, give you what for and let you know some of the stuff that I learned when I was alive, but it seems like our time might be running out here soon.
Okay. What is the crown of Brambles, and why were you guys looking for it?
Dude, I got no fucking idea. That's why you gotta find Roxanne.
Okay, all right.
Roxanne knows. Roxanne knew, at least. I hope she still knows. It hasn't been that long since I died. How old are you?
Oh god, 25?
25? Yeah, it's been about 25 years since I died.
Oh no, okay.
So hopefully Roxanne hasn't gotten senile. But she's an elf.
This is so weird. Do you have any advice?
Advice?
You were a rogue. Do you have any tips?
Tips? Oh god. Actually, this is a mechanical question. What did you take expertise in? Like, what are the skills that you have expertise in that are double your proficiency?
I believe sleight of hand and stealth.
Sleight of hand and stealth? Okay. So what Yenoble gives to you in terms of tips and advice is he says, one of the things that I never really got when I was alive that I wish I did was that you need to know how to use your tools. If you don't use your tools properly, you're not going to be able to disarm traps, and dungeons are going to be a lot more dangerous for you. There's a lot of people that don't want you getting to their shit, and if you can't disarm the traps that they set out for you, then it's going to be a lot harder for you. And he's going to give you what is going to be one of your special features. What this, in air quotation marks, feature is, and I'm going to, this is very mechanical. You can pick at the end of a long rest. So when you have taken a long rest, you can decide one skill you're not proficient in to temporarily become proficient, one skill that you are proficient in to temporarily have expertise, or one tool proficiency that you are not or are proficient in to either temporarily become proficient in or temporarily gain expertise in. That is what Yenoble will provide you every long rest.
Oh, wow.
It is temporary. So, like, at the end of that day, you'll lose the proficiency, but then you can pick a new proficiency.
Right. Okay.
And this is representative mechanically of Yenoble giving you tips during your dream. And so Yenoble will, for this rest, just as sort of like a proof of concept, give you expertise in thieves' tools until the end of your next long rest.
Okay.
And so he sort of like stops picking his teeth with one of the tools, and he's like, yeah, I should probably not be doing this. It's actually really bad for a teacher to be fucking up his tools like that. Don't do what I was just
You're
doing.
gonna hurt your teeth, man.
I know. He like shows that he's got a fake like gold tooth, and he's like, I know, I already have. Well, that was actually because of a bob roll. Don't worry about it. Well, Harvey, I want you to get. You know what? Listen, maybe I'm being a little too hard on you to just come out the gate swinging and telling you need to get your ass back in the saddle and you need to get back on the trail of the crown. But there's very obviously some dire consequence if the Dragon Queen gets the crown. Do you know the Dragon Queen? Do you know who she is? Do you know what the fuck that means?
I'm not familiar. No.
All right. The Queen of the Dramalian Empire is the Dragon Queen. I think her name was like, fucking, I hate dragon names. It's like Nemixthia or some shit. They like to add a bunch of X's and TH's in their names and Y's. I think it makes them cool. The Dragon Queen. That's why I call her that. She's the queen of the Dramalian Empire. She took power maybe like 50-ish years ago. She usurped it from the usurper. It was a whole thing. But she's looking for the crown. The southern continents, the southern cities and stuff down there, most of them are owned by the Dramalian Empire. So definitely try to remain a little incognito about the fact that you're kind of at odds with her. Because if she knows, she's going to make sure you die, like she did with me. We got too much on our radar, and it's a fucking miracle that Roxanne made it out.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't want you to die. Harvey, I got your best interests in mind, trust me, man. Because I don't want to have to be the fucking 7th, and then you be the 8th, and be stuck here with me forever. And then we have the 9th is going to be born like a fucking baby, and we got to wait another fucking 20 years for them to actually get this shit on the road. By then, it might be too late. And you see, like, as he's starting to do that, like, rambling, you can see that he's starting to become, like, a little incorporeal and mist-like as time goes on. And you start to feel sort of like a cold wind sort of, like, cast over the scene and start to blow some of this stuff away. You see, he looks up and he's like, oh, shit, you're waking up, Harvey. Remember what I said. Tell your party members if you think they won't think you're crazy. But only if you think they won't think you're crazy.
They're gonna think I'm fucking...
They're gonna think you're fucking crazy. Maybe keep it to yourself. Maybe, you know what? Lumia's been through some shit recently, hasn't she? With the book? She might believe you.
Honestly, she's probably my best bet. I don't think...
Probably your best bet.
Yeah. I think Caius would
She's
just
been
want to fight the
talking to her
dragon.
book husband for a little bit. Just give her what for. Let her know that you got a brain brother or something. I don't know.
Brain blast.
That was weird. And as he says that, he disappears, and you wake up. You wake up in camp. You took up camp after the ambush. You buried the dead and took advantage of the broken caravan wagons to make campfires and keep yourselves warm during the night. You're the first to wake, but you can see the tents of the rest of your party members are nearby. And is there anything that you want to do in the morning, Harvey?
I want to immediately write down everything I can remember.
Okay. You can remember it perfectly. This is the first time that you've woken up with one of these wild dreams where you're like, I remember what happened. It's almost as though it was not a dream.
I'm still going to put it in my journal, just in case.
Hell yeah. You spend the morning jotting stuff down, and we'll go ahead and say that because it was, frankly, it was a pretty reasonable sort of amount of time that you guys had all slept. It's at this point, Caius, Lumia, and Moggs, you guys also come to consciousness as the caravan starts to get a little bit of a hustle and bustle, prepping themselves for getting back on track and getting to Zalam. I will go ahead and say anyone who wants to take up the mantle of second person to speak during the session after Harvey can approach Harvey while he's writing stuff down in the journal.
I had a question.
Yeah, shoot.
Does Webby sleep?
Good question. I'd say that she has like an inactive mode just to not burn energy or what have you. It's not necessarily like caloric energy, just magical energy. But not necessarily.
Can we have it? You like curl up like a dead spider.
So wait, who was all up? Was Harvey like the last awake?
Harvey was the first awake, and the rest of you are coming to consciousness now.
Yeah. What up, sleepyheads?
And those of you who step out of your tents can see Harvey. The snowstorm that you guys suffered from before has long since passed. It is frankly not like sunny. The clouds are still overhead, but it's not snowing or anything like that. The wind is very calm. And Harvey is sort of seated on a stump over the remnants, the embers of the fire from last night, jotting something down in his journal as he sees you all leave your tents.
Well, aren't you up early?
Yes, I had a wild dream. So just writing it down.
I didn't take you much for one for dream journaling, but there's also a lot I don't know about you, so fair enough.
Okay.
Moggs will hunt down Polynex Bombadex again.
Hell yeah. He is maybe like a little late to start, so you sort of show up to his tent and like shout in for him, I assume.
May not shout exactly, but yeah, get his attention.
Yeah. You hear from inside. He's like, "Oh, yes. Hold on. Hold. Let me make sure that I'm decent and good. Yes." And he opens the flap, and you can see that he just like put on his shirt and pants and stuff. He's very obviously not like ready to go out, but he's perfectly decent. He opens the tent flap, and he's like, "Yes. Hello, little one. What can I help you with?" I don't remember if this was his voice, by the way.
That's good close up. Moggs is doing her best impression of like a serious business. She's got like her arms crossed, and she's like trying to maintain like a distinguished squint. And she goes, I remembered something that my Uncle Boggs told me once. If you ever have something unique, that means it's valuable.
That's mostly correct. Honestly, I can't really see too much of a flaw in that logic.
What are you going to pay me to show up?
Information, I presume. I would assume it would be in your best interests as well.
But I'm weird. We're weird.
You don't need to be so. I guess you don't see it as being hard on yourself, do you? Yes, you are. And if you want to know why you're weird, I can offer that to you. We'll consider it a trade. You show up, and I tell you why you're weird, or at least get you a little closer to figuring it out. That is, if you want it. He sort of puts his hands up, and he's like, if you don't really mind not knowing, there's no skin off my back, but I would definitely advise you to come by my office and figure out. He then at this he points and he goes, and figure out why you're weird.
But that's gonna be.
I don't consider you weird.
That's gonna be important. You said that we did something new.
True.
And she's gonna hold out a hand.
I want hand. Scratch.
I want payment or a core.
Or a core. Shit. Well, I don't have a core, and I don't travel with a lot of money because there's a lot of brigands on the road. I've got most of that. He snaps his fingers and does that like, oh dang, like snap across the chest, and he goes like, and I got most of my money and cores back in my office in Swavel.
I'll take an IOU.
He looks up and he goes, deal, and goes back inside his tent. You hear him scribble some stuff up. He writes an IOU that says the following. It says, I, Polynex Bombadil, or whatever the fuck his name is, this guy.
Polynex Bombadix.
Thank you. Promise to the individual hereby titled Moggs and their companion Webbigail to, upon completion of the examination of both individuals, provide them with compensation equaling or less than 5,000 gold pieces. He writes it like it is nothing, and then hands it to you and goes, this should be more than enough, I'm hoping. If you want to make an insight check as he hands you the 5,000 gold pieces IOU.
Sure. Insight. I don't think I have a very good. Or no, wait. I do have. I'm wisdom. What am I talking about?
Ooh.
21.
21. He wrote 5,000 gold pieces like it was nothing because he's a rich man. If you were willing to risk damaging your sort of relation with this man in any capacity, you could try to pressure him for more money either now or later.
Moggs not actually having experience with formal contracts, just knowing of their existence and the concept of value, has accomplished her mission. She feels like she has gotten what she wants, and she will snatch the IOU and immediately dash off to find Lumia, giggling madly.
I'll see you in Swavel, Moggs! And, like, his voice growing very distant as you sprint away to find Lumia.
No way. Moggs just got into a contract with somebody.
Yeah.
Not the first person I thought would have done this.
Moggs seeking out Lumia. We're going to go ahead and, in the interim, like, before you manage to do so, the caravan has come together and is now preparing to set out upon their way. We're going to say that as you come to the rest of the party, the caravan is leaving, so you've packed up all your stuff and have gotten ready to go. I think you're one wagon short at this point. So you're coming in with 20% less supplies than what would have been if it were a perfect success. Still an incredible feat that you guys managed to make it out of there with only one wagon destroyed. My intention was for there to be like an average of 2 to 3 wagons.
I knew you were plotting for our downfall.
Listen, I have to provide the obstacles, you know? No obstacles, no story, no fun.
We have thwarted you yet again.
Good thing I was conveniently on top of the wagon to cushion the blow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you being on top of I know that it, like, took you out of the fight when the wagon was destroyed and you got pinned underneath the dude, but, like, you being on top of the wagon actually pulled aggro from the wagon pretty substantially.
It's so awful.
Well, as the caravan sets out again, you guys have maybe like another week's worth of travel under, you know, this next leg of the journey. Moggs, you sort of like jog up to Lumia's side as she starts marching. Also, yes, Lumia, I actually didn't even, you know, toss it your way. Is there anything that you do this morning when you wake up? Anything specific, or are you just kind of getting ready for the caravan to go?
I don't think I would be doing anything in specific, just getting ready to head out.
Cool. I'm also going to make sure to make mention of this while my brain is thinking of it. We have established that Zarathrian, the Dragonborn Knight that you do have that you can summon him for free whenever you want in an incorporeal capacity so that he can converse with you and others around you. But if you ever want him to be fighting, that is the one-time use. So if you so desired at any point during the day, you can call him forth to speak with him.
Oh, so like, okay.
It's free. It's free to. So the best way that I can put it, as long as he's not influencing the world, it's free. The moment he tries to influence the world, it's not free. So if he is making a diplomacy check on your behalf, or if he's, doing something specific, like interacting physically with an object, I will say, like, from that point, that will be your one-time use. But for everything else, he can just kind of exist.
Okay. Full send. Can I actually summon Zarathrian without scaring everybody in the camp?
Yeah, I mean, most of the people in the camp here are not, like, magical people themselves, but some of the new road wardens are, novice and apprentice mages, and some of the people who are part of the caravan have been in Arendipidus enough to have seen magic themselves from other road wardens. So you summoning a golden knight in shining armor is probably one of the least scary things that they've seen. It's probably a little more comforting where it's like, oh, good, a holy cleric. Whew, at least it's not a fucking warlock or something. Yeah, at least they're not, like, speaking to the great old one, or something. Like, we're not hearing whispers in the back of our minds as he summons something. It's just, knight in shining armor. He heeds your call. He is created in a space of your choosing, and the moment he turns to face you and bows, and he says, "Good morning, my lady."
Good morning, Zarathrian. Did you rest well? Do you rest? Is that a thing?
I'm not sure, really. It's hard to describe my existence in this state. A spirit doesn't necessarily need rest, I believe.
You know what? I feel that. Okay.
I see the caravan is moving out. Shall we tarry along with them?
Yes. Yes, let's do that.
I believe your young squire, or I suppose companion, is harrying after you, and he gestures behind you to Moggs, who is sprinting up with a piece of paper in their hand.
Oh boy, that can only mean trouble. Moggs, what have you been up to this morning?
Giving you deja vu of the night that Moggs worked on your armor. She's like, look what I got, look what I got, look what I got.
Do you hold it to hold the IOU up to them?
Yep, like right, straight, both arms straight out, holding it on either side.
The first thing that you see, you can't really see a lot of the finer text, but you do see in big bold text 5,000 gold pieces. And you understand this to be some type of contract.
My eyes bug out. Moggs, no, seriously, what did you do? Like, who? What is this?
I remember my Uncle Boggs, he always said that rare things are valuable, and I'm the only one with the weird magic, so that means that I am valuable. So I went back and I told him that I'm valuable and that I needed money.
Well, I am certainly proud that you have demonstrated your worth. I love that for you. But why is the paper here? Like, what does this mean? Is this the amount?
It like rotates her arms to flip it back towards herself again. That at conclusion of the examination, that we will get up to 5,000 gold.
I think
And then she'll hold it back out again.
at this point, Lumia feels a little bit troubled because she is reading between the lines. Like, what does an examination mean? So, Moggs, what does an examination mean? What does that entail?
I don't
Moggs. Okay, you know what? We will manage one thing at a time. We're gonna go with the caravan if you're ready, and as soon as we get to our next town, not this next one, we're gonna go sort this out because I think moving forward, it's pretty important to make sure that you know exactly what you're signing up for in the fine print on something like a contract.
5,000 gold.
Right, but I'm most concerned about what you have to give in exchange.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay. We're gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be all right. And is that the only copy of that you have?
Yeah.
Good.
Should I have another one?
No,
I can go
this
back
works.
over there.
No. This works. This is
Okay.
good.
Okay.
If
What do I
you
do
have
with
the
it?
original, you have the power. Just keep it somewhere safe.
Okay. She'll put it in her bag.
Okay.
Cool. You see, Zarathrian has spectated this entire conversation, and he's walking with his hands behind his back very studiously, and looking forwards as not to kind of like imply that he's eavesdropping, but it's very obvious that he's heard the whole thing, and he kind of like sideways glances to you, Lumia, with an eyebrow raised.
I give a slight look of shame and stand
Your squire
back
is
up.
a very unique individual.
She's very, very special.
I'm weird.
She's learning.
He
You're
looks
not weird.
down at you and he goes, "I'm weird too."
Yay! And she'll offer a high five.
You try to high five, go straight through him.
Oh,
Dude,
it
I'm
was
weird.
too slow again.
Oh. He kind of ponders this. He's like, how do I help this small creature high five man? But aside from this, the caravan sets about on its way. Is there anything anyone wants to do between now and when you arrive in Zalam? Because it's a 7-day stint of time. There's obviously small little bits and bobs that you guys can do, but I'm asking for sort of major, sort of significant pieces of character interaction or like things you guys want to mechanically get done between now and there.
At 7 days, 6 nights,
I believe so. 7 days, 6 nights.
and we just had one.
You had one night, and then there will be 6 more, and then this is the first of 7 days.
Yeah.
If there's nothing, we can just cut to Zalam, because frankly, that's where most of my writing has gone into for this session.
Shoot, yeah, no. At the moment, like, I guess on the way there, Kai's just like messing around with his different rages now, because last time he grew a tail.
Yeah, last time you grew a fucking tail. So maybe like you set up camp for one of these times. You're like, what if I tried to do this? And you grow like, I don't know, fucking bull's horns or claws or teeth or.
He basically grows like a tiger's maw on his face one time.
There's maybe like a moment of slight terror because you're not fireproof, you're just fire resistant, so a maw of flame erupting from your face is cause for a little concern. And so you're kind of like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's just kind of doing this on his own. Like, hopefully not to terrify anybody around him.
I am going to go ahead and be a shitter to Harvey real quick and ask Harvey to make a deception check and every other character to make an insight check to determine what might be on Harvey's mind when he awakens each of these nights. Now that the players know that Harvey has made contact with somebody in his dreams, the characters are not privy to Moggs. Oh no!
Moggs gets it.
Oh, no, Harvey!
Jesus Christ! Are you okay? Oh,
this is over the stint of like a long span of time. Don't Kenkus get a thing that lets them reroll shit?
I do. I actually. Well, it's
you have to get
it's
advantage
Kenku
on
Recall. It gives me an advantage before
you roll. I'm gonna let this one be a freebie. You're taking long rests on your way to Zalam, so you're gonna recharge literally everything before you get there. There's no reason for you guys not to spend the stuff that recharges on long rests, so you can even add your psychic die to it if you want. Oh my fucking god!
What's happening?
Okay, well we got 6, and then plus deception, and then you can add your psychic die.
I can add my psychic die too?
Yeah, because those recharge on long rests.
Oh, okay. So let me...
Listen, it's hard for Harvey to fail a roll.
I'm trying to remember what they are.
I think they're D6s at this level.
It is a D6, yeah.
You said insight, right?
Yes, insight.
Okay.
Cool.
So what is that, 9?
Yeah.
You're fucking with me.
Could have just let me roll on my desk.
Okay, all right.
Well, Moggs has no idea, but I think Webby's clued in.
Okay. I am going to say
has
that
no
for
mouth.
a lot of future stuff, if there is like a physical ability check or something of that nature, Webby can absolutely roll. Outside of perception checks, some like diplomacy and deception and stuff of that nature, unless it's a role that I kind of prompt for Webigail in particular, she'll
Okay.
probably not get the opportunity to do it. She's coming into, she will eventually, like she absolutely will, but that's more of like a story beat thing.
Okay, got it.
It's fine this time, actually. I think it would be very humorous if Webigail was one of the only ones to figure it out. Lumio, what is your... So, right, sorry. Harvey, your total is 9?
Yes.
Okay. Lumia, did you roll a 9 or above?
No, I forgot to use guidance, so I have a 6 total.
I'll let you roll guidance.
There it is.
I'll just tell you guys, Christ.
Just tell you, yeah, at this point. No,
Damn
Lumia
it.
still doesn't
No,
get
you
it.
suck.
Oh, God.
Bear gets it, though.
Okay, so what did Moggs get?
Natural 1.
Beautiful. And then Webigail's total was how much?
15. He doesn't have any
Okay.
specific bonus to it.
Okay. Caius, what was your total?
A 16.
Okay, and then... oh, sorry, my wife isn't here yet. Okay. So, here's how we're going to flavor it. Webigail isn't necessarily being insightful more than she is recognizing that a member of your party is doing something more often than they normally do it. Because Harvey does scribble stuff down in his journal quite often, but generally not immediately upon waking up like a dream journal. And it seems like Webigail picks up on that and just goes to kind of bother you, Harvey. Not like for anything in particular, but there's this very sort of thin, almost daddy long legs little spider robot that skitters up to you and kind of just like stands adjacent to you as you're writing down your most recent dream.
Oh.
And is kind of just looking at you.
Dick bug.
Yeah. They're like the center, the tiny little center sort of mass of their body that's connecting with all their legs kind of like moves forwards while their legs remain stationary just to like get a little closer to try and see what's on the journal.
I'll show it what's on the journal.
Okay. You
Like
turn
I'm showing my dog what I'm writing. or
you turn
drawing.
to show it what's on the journal, and unbeknownst to you, Caius is on your other shoulder, looking over your shoulder, trying to see the journal as well. Caius, you've also noticed the same thing, that that Harvey is been writing what kind of seems like a dream journal.
I said it once when I first noticed it, but again, I never thought you to be the journaling type.
I normally don't, but I've never had a dream this clear before.
The actual, like, the thing you get, Caius, on this insight check is something is not necessarily troubling Harvey, but Harvey's trying to figure something out. That he wasn't trying to figure out until you guys fought that big monster.
Mm-hmm.
So you might, depending on what you would interpret Caius's interpretation to be, you could be thinking it's something about the big monster, but it seems like he's writing it every morning. So that's also something you can run with for Caius. Caius
Gotcha.
picks up on it.
But at this point, it's been like days since we fought that monster.
Yeah, I will say you guys are probably like 3 days away from
Yeah.
having fought the monster.
So, I would say that it was that interaction with the monster that's got you bothered, but that happened days ago. What's got your feathers in a ruffle?
First off, I don't like that phrasing.
I don't care.
Why are you
Webigail,
so hot-headed over there, buddy?
Webigail takes what could be interpreted as their head, but is mostly just their whole body, and like shakes it like they're shaking their head at you, Caius. It's at this point also that other party members can arrive. I assume at some point Moggs is going to come try to fetch Webigail.
That's fair.
What's got you taking so many notes?
I had this dream, and they're like, the dream's telling me to go find some people, and like they look familiar, but they don't, and I don't know if I'm crazy, and I'm just trying to remember everything.
Oh,
You know,
I'm so sorry, Harvey. There's one thing that I did forget to tell you that Noble informs you of.
Oh, okay.
The last lead that they had was that they were tracking a person who supposedly had a prophecy. They were tracking someone who supposedly had a prophecy, and the only sort of like information that they had about them is that they've technically only been alive for about 6 months. The person with the prophecy, that is.
So now the person is like 25 and a half. Right?
The person, oh shit, no, that would be the case. The person with the prophecy that they're seeking, I'm being a stupid DM, having written something improperly. They were seeking someone with a prophecy and they hadn't found them yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they had no other metric really about this person with this prophecy. The only thing that they knew is that they were supposed to be sort of in the northern lands in some capacity. Which is where you guys still are. Zalam and Swervel and all this place is still considered the north.
oh God,
I'm so confused.
about what, Harvey?
I don't know. Oh, that was me. That was me.
Oh,
if you want clarification from me as Bell, you absolutely have.
What is happening?
The party that Noble was a part of was tracking the Crown of Brambles. The most recent lead that they had received for the Crown of Brambles was that there, and again, Noble is full confession. Noble has an intelligence score of 7. He's a very stupid man. He was not keeping track of what the party was actually doing. He was in it for the money, and he has expressed this to you over the course of the last couple of days. He's like, the money's good, what can I say? But he understood that, in particular, Roxanne being the brains of the party, they were tracking a person with a prophecy that was going to link them to or allow them to find the crown in some capacity. Okay, that was the most recent lead that they had. So what Noble's told you is, find my old party member who has more information about finding the crown, and the last lead that we had to find the crown was to find this person with a prophecy that will take us to it.
Okay.
He's purposely vague on the details because he just didn't fucking pay attention. He's the worst member of the party for you to have in your corner because he just doesn't.
Hell yeah.
He just didn't pay attention.
I know we gotta do something, man.
I don't know what. We just gotta do something.
Dude,
and that's why he's like, just go find Roxanne. She was the smart one. She knew what was happening.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, I did totally like butcher that, but I hope that there's more clarification provided there.
I do feel a little bit more.
Some of the vagueness is on purpose. I'll admit that. Some of the vagueness is like I'm fucking with you, but some of it is like whoops.
I don't know, Caius. There's prophecies and
like
dragons. I'm thinking about
dragons.
Yeah, I'm worried if I write too much more, Lumi is gonna steal this journal from me.
You really think Lumia would do that?
Oh, I was making a joke, but
Moggs will come dashing up, and she's holding a stick in her hands.
Webigail sees the stick,
hands it to Webigail, and then Webigail throws it, and Moggs goes dashing after it.
Jesus Christ.
You
see what totally should be inversed to be this way. Webigail, like, robotically not even having to turn around, just kind of takes one of the limbs and just like, they throw it pretty far too.
Okay. Anyway, you were saying about a prophecy of dragons and whatnot.
Yeah.
Where are you? You said you're pulling this from your dreams?
Yeah, I'm having it's almost like a dream, and then it started to continue it just continues the next day.
Right. Well, I can't call you crazy because back in my tribe, we've also had visions and everything.
I was gonna say dreams are
from-
dreams and prophecies are kind of a thing back in Feowen, where occasionally you will have sort of druidic people that have prophetic visions in their dreams. The way that Harvey's describing it isn't really the same, but there's precedent for Caius to not think that Harvey's
He's completely crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say like
I have 3 or 4 names, and I just want to ask around about them when we get where we're going. It's a long.
Well, it sounds like you've got your own little chore list to do once we get there. Now, don't you?
Don't belittle my quests.
I wasn't, but
My little chores.
you know what? You know what? You're whatever.
Aw.
I don't. I was trying to be nice, but if you want them to be little, they can be.
I don't know what that means.
Whatever. So
whatever, dude.
So who exactly are these people you're looking for? Because if anything, I'll be willing to help you out as well, because I'm looking for certain people myself.
Have you heard that name? Roxanne Lamore?
I have
Caius,
not.
roll a history check.
Oh my god. Okay.
Give it a fucking shot, man.
Shoot.
Roll a nat 20. Know everything about this person.
I rolled a nat 1. Why
You've
you
never, in fact, you think
I want you to know.
You're pretty convinced Roxanne's not a name.
I want you to know this is the 10th nat 1 I rolled in this campaign.
Rocks and what?
Yeah. That's like straight up. You hear him say Roxanne, and you're like, Rox? What?
Rocks and. Okay.
How? Do you know anything about the Dromalian Empire?
Well,
there's no need for you to make a roll.
Yeah, I was about to say, given from what the trolls have given me, apparently my mother is a warmonger for the Dromalian Empire at this point.
Your country has also been at war with them for some time.
Yeah, and they're currently fighting against my country where I came from.
But your mom's working with them?
So, as much as I've heard from the trolls.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just curious. She's the Nimixia, the Dragon Queen, has come up a couple times in the dream.
Do I need to roll for that one?
No, the Dragon Queen is not
the
like
Queen of the Dromalian Empire.
Yeah, the Queen of the Dromalian Empire is the largest nation on the planet right now. On Ashela, the Dromalian Empire is basically the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire. It's fucking massive. It spans 80% of the landmass of the largest continent in the world, and it is known for cannibalizing other countries and adding their culture. It's almost like adding it to the collective, like a Borg style thing. Not cybernetic wise, but literally, like they will conquer a country. They will install a fake government that answers to the crown of the Dromalian Empire, and then allow them to maintain their culture to add it to their own sort of cultural identity, and then continue to cannibalize cultures in the same way. So some people consider them benevolent because they conquer and then let you keep your way of life, but others really don't, because they're also like, they will extract it. The Dromalian Empire extracts a tithe. Every firstborn child of every family is automatically drafted when they reach 18 years of age.
That's crazy, but okay.
That's why they have such a massive military, and that's part of why they're so dangerous. Is they are very militant and draconian. No pun intended. I know they have a dragon for a queen.
But
they're known for being kind of like rule with an iron fist, and no one will question you.
Huh.
And the dragon queen,
shit, dude.
She's been in power for the last like 50 to 60 years. The Dromalian Empire's leadership has been known to kind of transfer hands every once in a while, normally via a series of tests that a prospective ruler has to perform. They don't believe in royal bloodlines of the Dromalian Empire, for context. And so there's this sort of like, everyone has to perform 7 tests, and all 7 of these tests have to be passed with flying colors, after which point you can challenge the current throne holder if there is one. The Dragon Queen has performed none of the 7 tests, but no one wants to contest her claim to the throne because she's a literal dragon and the country worships dragons.
want you to know, as a player, you giving me that information is just you've messed up. But okay. just know. Oh God.
Oh, don't worry. I know. Nemixia is the Dragon Queen is part of this plot line. I cannot wait for her role.
Oh my God. You said Nemixia?
I'm gonna fucking. I can't spell it.
So I wrote it down as you said it. Nemixia.
Yeah, Nemixia.
Hang on, let me write that
Here,
down.
I'm going to give you the phonetic pronunciation. Nemixia, like,
I'll put Nami X Thea.
Close enough. There's a bunch of H's and Y's and X's.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'll give you a proper spelling later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Suffice it to say, Harvey, that like as you're coming to know more about Nemixia, the Dragon Queen, when Unoble was like, I fucking hate the way dragons name themselves, you're kind of like, yeah, this sucks.
Okay, so after Harvey mentions that this is the Dragon Queen and also the Queen of Dramalia, I guess getting back to it. So you mean to tell me that the person that you're looking for, or is now in, I guess, having prophecies of, is the queen of the same empire that my mother is a general in?
I'm not having like a prophecy or vision about the Dramalian Empire or her specifically. She's just coming up on the side as being involved in the bigger picture.
I still feel like that's pretty important.
I think so too. I feel like that's awful weird.
Anyway, you said there was a third.
You're a Winterlace.
What did you just call me?
Have you heard?
So Giora Winterlace is someone who you would actually know the name of, Caius. They are a not like famous but relatively esteemed huntress from your country. They went abroad and made a pretty solid name for themselves maybe like 50, 60 years ago. Around the time that the Dragon Queen started to take power, there was a lot of like huge conflicts in the Dramalian Empire, and Giora Winterlace, at least for your country's sake, is known for having breached through the front line of the Dramalian Empire's forces in an attempt to take back some of the land that they had taken from you in wars past. Beyond that, Giora does have other sort of notable achievements, but your country at least esteems her for being like the first person in 100 years to actually break the lines of the Dramalian Empire.
Okay, gotcha. So I actually know this. Gotcha. I would know if
Giora is Giora is not like she's a famous person, but not so famous. It's like she's a legendary figure. It's like, no, that's like, you know, Abraham Lincoln. Like he's super important. He's really important. It's just he's not God.
Gotcha. Okay.
More John Adams.
So it's Giora, not Yora.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fix that there. But that's actually a name I'd heard of back in my country.
That is interesting. I'm gonna have to pick your brain more about this person later, because I'm being told in my dreams that I am a reincarnation of Giora Winterlace.
And now you're starting to sound like one of the shamans from my tribe. Are you sure? You sure you've never been to Fayewood?
I'm pretty positive, yeah.
Moggs will come dashing back up and be a little out of breath. Like, that's how you play fetch, Webby. Oh, hey guys.
Webby nods, taking like immediately being taken from this conversation, which Webby was paying attention to, and nodding to you as though it is so much more important than the conversation.
What's up?
Webby like effectively does this where their legs aren't moving, they're just like turning their body on a pivot basically, and just move their body and gesture to Harvey's book.
Oh, more book shit?
Nods.
More? What do you mean more book shit?
Book.
What
prophecy.
other book shit has that? Oh wait.
Dragon Queen.
Ooh.
Also, like, I'd rather think I would ask her that myself. Anyway, But I feel like the more information we can get would be in Zalome from here. So, what would say we get this caravan moving? We got a lot of information together, don't we?
You see Webby goes, Zalam, 5,000 gold.
5,000 what?
5,000 gold.
What? Webby!
Oh,
Kais is gonna shrug and turn. So where's the
Oh, no.
caravan master? Caravan master!
Yeah, he sort of like, he's at the head of the pack. You can kind of like jog up to him. He turns slightly as he's leading the caravan. He doesn't make a whistle for the caravan to slow down or stop or anything. He just kind of nods. He's like, yeah, come here. What's up?
So we're actually in motion as this conversation.
You guys are
okay. I
like,
thought we were stopped this whole time.
I did introduce it as like this was a morning that you guys had woken up. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's at this point that like the caravan starts to actually get on its way, and so like the caravan master is making the whistling signals for the caravan to start moving as you kind of like jog up to him. He's like, yeah, what's up?
How much longer before we reach the loam?
Probably about 3 days. Why?
We have quite a bit of information gathering we would have to do. I was just curious about when we would get there, but if we have 3 days, I will not rush.
So what type of information gathering? I might be able to give it to you.
Right. Have you ever heard of the Phoenix Mother?
I have, yeah.
What's the latest of you heard of her?
The latest that I heard is she, well,
More specifically, whereabouts?
the southern end of this continent. She's been raising fields and killing livestock and slaughtering my countrymen.
Right. And what of the Dragon Queen?
Neither hide nor hair of her physical presence here. She's probably back in her throne in the Dramalian Empire. Why? You got beef with the Dragon Queen? That's
I don't know yet.
You don't know?
We'll get there when we get there.
You either have beef with the Dragon Queen or you don't have beef with the Dragon Queen.
Personally, maybe.
All right.
Look, I want you to look here. It's a lot to talk about right now.
You gotta have more conviction in you, son. You're
I'll
talking
try.
to a rat folk, and rat folk are known for living maybe like 30 years tops. And he looks like an older rat folk, but he's still probably younger than you.
Yeah, he is.
And so he's talking to you like, you young whippersnapper, because he's getting up there in age. But even then, he's still like, he's probably like 24, 25.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely still
So
younger
he's
than
like,
Guy.
you gotta put your back into it, son.
Right. Again, there's still so much information I have to get from this, but me and my companion has some information gathering we have to do, and I was just wondering about a time frame of when we might get to Salo. I am now very intrigued in this location.
All right. Well, sooner we get there, the better. And you see he continues sort of directing the caravan.
Okay, gotcha. And I turn back around and go join the others again.
Yeah. Is there anything else that anybody would like to do, or are we good to cut to Zalam? Going once?
At some point, and we don't have to play this out unless you had something in specific, but Moggs would, kind of like she did in town, do a wander around with the tech magic on, talk to people about what they got, and when they ask for money, she'd decline.
Okay. There are a couple people with magic items here. The most that you sense, the magic that resides on a lot of the other road wardens is very minor. You see like a health potion or two, maybe like a +1 rune is on one of their bows or swords or something like that. But aside from that, it's really just the same stuff that you guys have. On Polynex Bombadex and his associate especially, let me pull them up because I have... the associate's name is also important here. Where the fuck is
It was something extravagant. I don't remember what it was, though.
Yeah, it was something extravagant. It's a shame I can't fucking find it for the life of me. Percival Abercrombie, I believe. Yeah, so on Polynex Bombadex, you sense that there's a lot of really sort of minor magic items of sort of like, this is a most of the things that are on his person are kind of like enchanted with the ability to be telekinesed autonomously, where it's like I can operate 6 or 7 things at the same time. They are things of his own creation, and he does pretty explicitly say they're not for sale. But Percival Abercrombie has, from what you can see on his person, it's not visible with the way that he is currently dressed, but under his coat, you see maybe about 6 different firearms, which are all incredibly magical. You also see that his glasses are magical, his hat is magical, the coat itself is magical, the boots and gloves that he wears are magical, as well as him having some sort of magical armor beneath his shirt and a magical belt. He is fucking stacked. Percival Abercrombie has a ton of stuff on him.
Little drool comes out of Moggs' mouth.
And he absolutely will entertain you if you do ask like what some of these items are. He will tell you. Most of the things that he has on him, you would expect for an adventurer reaching the end of an adventure to have. So like he has a lot of +2 items and maybe 1 or 2 +3 items, and he's got like a belt of fire giant strength and like a mithril chainmail beneath his stuff, and his coat is like a +2 cloak and all that other type of stuff. He's got like a ton of just stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. And he does kind of boast somewhat about it, not super pompously and not in a gloating way, but a lot more of just like, it's a lot of hunts to get to where I was, and a lot of hunts more to get to where I am now. And he strikes you as the type of person who hunts a lot of monsters because it's fun, and he is a road warden himself, in addition to having written the handbook.
Moggs would probably show off her own infusion on her armor and probably brag a little bit and probably boast that like I'll get to that point. I'll show you one day.
Whether Moggs will like care about this at all is to be determined, but he shows genuine, not feigned, but genuine interest and sort of like an acknowledgement of your accomplishment with what you show to him. He's like, this is remarkable. You've done such a wonderful job. When I started out, I could not even fathom trying to accomplish what you've managed here in such a short time. And in particular with Webby as well, he's sort of like, this is truly something. I think that my associate has a good reason to want to be so interested in learning more about you and Webby. And you sense he's Percival also, if Moggs decides to sort of prod at all, or he probably volunteers it himself. He's a high elf. He's been alive for a couple hundred years. He's been a road warden since the Road Warden Society was founded. He was one of the founding members. And so that kind of like, that connects the dots and explains kind of like, oh, so you are an adventurer who's at the end of his adventure.
Well, I started this whole magical thing like 3 weeks ago, so I would be in like probably 3 months I'll have topped you. I don't know.
he laughs and he's like, well, I would be very impressed if you managed such a feat, and I will be looking forward to it. 3 months, you say? I'll hold you to it. And he kind of waves his hand. He's like, I'm not actually going to. If you would like, with 3 months, you're more than welcome to come by. I do end up stopping by my associate's establishment on occasion, but most of the time I am out and about enjoying the hunt, as it were. Yes.
Yeah, cores are cool.
The monster cores, you've encountered them then?
Oh yeah, that's Webby.
Yes, I did hear mention that Webergale was constructed from a monster core. Do tell, what manner of creature did you extract the monster core for Webergale?
It was a big one. Yeah.
You describe it to him in some capacity.
Yeah, basically the exact same thing we went through with Polynex Bombadex.
So unlike Polynex, so Polynex is a lot more of like an astute, studious sort of education-forward man. But you get the impression that Percival Abercrombie is a lot more of like an action-oriented man. He's the yin to Polynex's yang. And you describe it as like, it's big and spiky and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, yes, I believe I know this creature. The Skardur, known very much so as an alpha predator, normally supposed to be on the southern continent. You said you encountered it in the Northlands, yes?
Yes.
That is quite strange. Many, many strange things afoot nowadays, it seems. I know not of the Skardur's origins, nor of how truly to defeat it, but from your accounts, it does seem that rocks will do the trick. I will have to remember this for the journal.
Rocks and explosives.
Yes, explosives. That probably has something to do with it. He actually does take out like a small journal and starts jotting stuff down. They did cooperatively write the handbook after all. But after this, he closes and he's like, "It was a pleasure making your acquaintance, Moggs. I do hope to see you out and about on the field." I would like for Moggs to make one more insight check for me, with the knowledge that you will not receive any information from this insight check unless you roll the Hail Mary nat 20. This is a potentially, like, game-defining roll. 14? Okay. Polynex is,
You said potentially game defining?
potentially. For Moggs.
Fuck it, I'll inspiration it.
Hell yeah. 5%, let's go. Fuck.
Nope.
All right. Well, Polynex, bids you adieu and continues his sort of research and musings. He is continuing to. It seems like his purpose on this caravan is very much so to protect Polynex in as much of a capacity as he can. And so he resides close to Polynex at most instances of the journey, and then after this next 3-day stint of time, you arrive in Zalam. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the description that I have here. So, more specific sort of metrics about Zalam. The size of Zalam is approximately about 7 to 8 square miles, not including the sort of greater area around Zalam. The population is listed as being somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 people, although, as you will soon discover, that is not necessarily the case anymore. This is a very chilly place. It's grimy, muddy. It doesn't snow easily here. You're too far south for that now, but it is still cold. So you just get a lot of cold rain. The ground here is soft from the constant rainfall, necessitating unique buildings and structures that end up being raised on wooden stilts and stone columns. The only solid ground that you can see is the sort of like wavy structure that they have constructed the city walls out of in order to coincide with the like small strip of solid land that they have. The square stone wall rises about 20 feet into the air, capped on corners by towers that are double their height. Battlements lined with soldiers give all of you guys the sense that the city is keenly aware of the dangers that are lurking beyond the walls as you begin to sort of muster into Zalam proper. Dozens upon dozens of tents and campsites have been set up on the roads leading into the city, and it appears as though most of the current refugees that are here have arrived only within the last few days. There's a constant patter of chilling rain. Most of the people are covering themselves with cloaks and shields and barrel lids. Anything that they can get their hands on to protect themselves from the rain, they do so. The city proper, as you enter into the city, it looks somewhat dilapidated from constant rainfall. There's muddy ground and fields, a general disrepair of most wooden structures, although the stone structures do look pretty solid. People live with wet clothes and muddy footprints at all times, but you get the immediate sense that there is still an air of liveliness and camaraderie here. People are sharing food and ale with refugees, taking time out of their lives to help these people, being kind to them, getting them into some shelter. Farm hands in the area labor in the cold dampness to harvest things like rice and soybean and sugarcane and so on and so forth. Most of the people who are here are either wearing what are effectively like super like knee-high boots to help with the mud, or straight up have their pants like rolled all the way up to like the mid-thigh and are just going barefoot through the mud. It's not so much that you guys are sinking in the mud, but it's definitely one of these things where it's like every footprint that you make either hits grass that is super damp and so you hear like a squish, or it just hits mud and you go maybe like an inch into the mud. And that's everywhere you walk. After a certain point, the caravan comes to a stop, kind of announces the caravan is being disbanded at this point because you guys have made it to your destination. It will reconvene in maybe about 4 or 5 days' time in order for them to continue on the next caravan route to Swarvel. But this caravan officially is being disbanded. And you can see that there are what looks like some staircases and ramps that lead up to these massive wooden structures that are hanging overhead what looks like a marshland and swampland. These sort of like thick wooden beams are jammed into the earth below in order to make sure that the wooden structure can remain stable through all of the rain. And you can see that there are mostly open areas here. There's not a lot of buildings in air quotation marks. Mostly it's like you have the wooden structure that is propped up on wood and on like a flat wood surface, and then you have more wooden poles that have like this cloth covering to keep the rain out. And you see that there are some people that are under the cloth coverings of like, this is technically where the merchants are, where you're talking to someone who's like someone who has a swords for sale and stuff like that, and they're just talking out in the open on these wooden planks that are raised above the ground. And then you see like the, in air quotation marks, tavern, where there are basically just barrels that are there and they're drawing tap for beer and serving it to people who are on tables that are also just kind of up there. There's not a lot of walls. There's a lot of like ropes and cordoned off areas to prevent people from falling back into the mud. But largely it is a very open place. They're making do with what they have. The location, so to answer the questions that I'm seeing in our group chat, the location gives the impression of a dreary place. The people give the impression of the type of people for when the going gets tough, they get going. They're very much so sort of like, yep, another day on the job, let's get it done. They maybe have some amount of themselves that they are hiding from everybody else to make sure that nobody else becomes sort of sad or depressed in this place. But it's a little hard for you guys as new arrivals to be like chipper and cheery here, because it is, it's a bog. It's a swampland that's constantly cold and raining and clammy, and it's just kind of like the area is making it hard for you to be happy-go-lucky. But you're greeted as you arrive. It looks, let me go ahead and pull them up here. There is an individual who arrives on the scene of where the caravan sort of shows up. There is a road that is still a little muddy, but it's like cobbled in some capacity, so you can actually walk on it and like caravan wagon wheels don't get caught. And you see that there's this elderly gentleman, looks shorter, maybe balding on top. His eyes are in a constant squint, and he has this cane that he's hobbling forwards with.
I want you to know Kais is not interacting with this individual right now from the last individual with the cane.
And
no.
Behind him, as he's approaching, there is a very, what I am going to describe as like a medieval businesswoman almost looking person. She is a catwoman. She looks like a tabby cat if it was on 2 legs. She's very thin, very lithe, has what looks like some sort of leather armor on, and is holding what is effectively an umbrella over herself and this elderly man as they approach. You see that the man kind of looks and sort of holds a cane under his armpit and claps his hand and goes, "Could I please get all road wardens and new road wardens present to come here?" And he waits as some of the road wardens kind of look amongst themselves and then start walking over.
Caius is very like squinting, but he slowly approaches.
Moggs has been a little like almost awestruck, dumbfounded since starting to approach the place because she's never seen anything remotely like this size before, the scale, or the construction.
Oh yeah.
So she's kind of like twirling around and drinking everything in.
Whether all of you do approach or all of you do not approach, he's going to begin to speak to those that do decide to approach. And he says, "It is good that you have come here to Zalam. As I'm sure you can tell, we are attempting to help with the relief efforts for Swarvel. It has come to our attention that road wardens are in dire need, so I thank you dearly for your assistance in this matter." He sort of like claps his hands together and he says, "I am Bert. I am the head of the Road Warden Affairs here in Zalam. This is my associate, your tag. She is a Tabaxi woman who is in charge of the local operations here. She will be your liaison for the bounty board, among other things. But of course, if you need anything at all," he gestures to what is an actual building that is erected from stone that looks slightly raised up out of the mud by like smaller stone columns and stuff. Basically, there's like a thoroughfare for water and mud to kind of go below the actual structure itself.
Okay.
Because this is the Road Warden Affairs office. We have many employees in there waiting to assist you with whatever you need. And of course, the bounty board is right outside, so don't be a stranger. And come on by whenever you need us." And he kind of smiles to you all, gives you a wave, and starts to hobble back over to the building. And your tag, the Tabaxi woman has a very like harsh stare that most people would crumble under pretty much immediately. She glares at you, Caius, with what you immediately like. It looks like you're squaring up to fight, and then she just turns around and like walks away. You just kind of like you got the immediate impression like, oh fuck, she wants to fight me, and then she walks away, and you're like, is that just how she is?
Oh no. I was like, she's glaring at me, and I'm glaring. I guess I'm glaring back, and there's a smirk on my face because I'm not stepping down from a challenge.
Yeah, you returned the glare for her. She doesn't seem to acknowledge it necessarily. She just kind of walks away. She looks like a cold fucking woman. But yeah, you guys
have questions for her later.
You guys have made it to Zalam. Now,
let's go!
I'm going to ask the players
let's go.
How they want to go about this. You can, in character, explore the whole city, and that's absolutely something that you can do. I'm not going to stop you from doing it. However, you will be kind of like running blind unless you are okay with me giving you kind of like the rundown of what is here. I will give you everything that's here. Not everything if you don't want everything, but there are no like hidden buildings.
Okay. Well,
so what's the verdict? Does everybody want me to give them the rundown of what's available here?
I'd like the rundown.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. So the first and foremost is the Road Warden Office, the Office of Road Warden Affairs. It's headed by Bert. There are maybe about 4 other offices aside from the head office. There's the local operations office, which is for and these are all separate like rooms in the building that you can go to and interact with. The local operations building, but headed by your tag, is for the bounty board. You will go there to accept a bounty board quest and kind of inform her like, hey, we're going to go do this. So in the case that we end up dead, you know to retrieve our bodies. A little morbid, but necessary. There's the head of finance, who's the person that you would go to get payment. There's the head of recruitment. That's where my wife is. Then there's the head of supply distribution, who's currently really busy with helping distribute supplies to Swarval. So the head of supply distribution largely would not really be something you can interact with, but all the other ones you could. There are some more mundane buildings that have like smaller roles in the town, which I will go ahead and mention. There is a carpenter's building called Bodurk's Carpentry. There's Trinkets and Baubles, which is a jeweler. There is a Church of Suo. There is a Temple of the Host, which we'll get there in a moment. There's a courthouse, and there's a stockade. The Church of Suo. Suo is one of the big 3 gods that exist in the world. She is the goddess of the sphere, also known as the goddess of nature. He's relatively neutral. Generally, most of the people who worship her like to stay out of conflict, and they're pretty passive. Temple of the Host strikes you as a little strange because the host is a... How do I describe this? They're called the host of malicious intent, and they're responsible for karma. Like bad karma, as in you do something bad and then you know, someone shivs you later. It's like really like murderous vengeance. That like
It's wild.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where it's like murderous vengeance is kind of the host of malicious intent. There is a temple dedicated to the host here. So that might be something you might want to explore later if you so desire. But more on the side of adventurer buildings, there's the Silver Spoon, a tavern that is known for being somewhat lavish. Nart and Sons Barely Sober Tavern. There's the Copper Bottoms General Goods Store, Pink Health Alchemy Goods, Mura's Smith Works, Secondhand Steel, and back to the Office of Road Warden Affairs as well. So those are the sort of buildings that you can explore. You've got 2 taverns, Copper Bottoms General Good, the Alchemy Store. Mura's Smith Works is an armorer, and then Secondhand Steel is a weapon seller.
Oh, man.
You have that
We get
a
a
list
list
from you
in
can put in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to explain all those. If you could type it at me, that'd be great. That'd be
No, it's
great.
perfect. It's perfectly fair.
I'm
I'm
waiting.
gonna go ahead and I'm gonna type out the name and then like what it is in the briefest of terms. Is there anything that strikes your guys' fancy?
You said 2 taverns,
Yes,
and you said the Silver Spoon was more so the...
the lavish one. Yes,
What's the other one?
Nart and Sons Barely Sober.
You already know. Oh god, just wait. Wait till they meet Caius. But man, I don't... Is everybody about... I should wait until see what everybody else wants to do.
So those are all of the buildings that are kind of like they offer wares and services. I mean, of course, the carpenter and the jeweler do too, but they don't have like magic items or anything. But now I'll write down the rest of them.
Oh yeah, that's also another place I would like to visit.
Okay. What's everybody feeling?
Well, I would have to say that my flask has gone empty since the last time Ekel. I haven't seen Ekel in weeks, so I've been kind of dry on ale.
Oh,
Also,
so-
just in case it's relevant, the courthouse and stockade is where the steward resides, who is kind of like basically the mayor of the town.
well, that's good to know, actually.
Moggs has never been in a place that has been host for more than like a couple hundred people most.
I think the biggest place you've ever been in is Heads. Yeah.
And then it just got bigger.
So this is all completely overwhelming to her, and she's just lost in it, and will probably just kind of go where Lumia goes, for lack of a better idea.
I can't imagine Moggs running off and getting lost here. Oh my
No,
god.
I mean-
we'd never find her again.
You would never find her again, not because this place is particularly huge, but just it's big enough.
But I would say we should get any official business out the way first, but immediately after that, I would think I would like a drink. I've been on the road for too long.
I think I'm actually going to join Caius because I have something I would like to talk to him about. So whenever you go, Caius, I would like to go with you.
You drink?
Not often, but if that is where you're choosing to spend your time, I will meet you in your native environment.
Caius is excited now. Caius hasn't had a drinking buddy since he's been here.
Okay. So Moggs is going to be following Illumia. Where would Harvey like to go? Go with the rest of the crew, or?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool. So you guys head over to the tavern. Give me just a moment. I'm actually going to go ahead and ask my wife something.
Well, did you say you wanted to finish the official business before going to the tavern?
Trying to figure out what would be like. I don't know what would as the players what would be best. Like I'm not sure here.
You guys have, I think we mathed out like 75 total gold waiting for you in the Road Warden Society. Yeah, it's just daily.
Is that like per person?
That's daily wages and the amount of money that you guys would have accrued from completing the quest.
That's right.
I got 39 gold from daily wages marked.
So then it would be, how much gold was the, let me pull it up. Where the fuck is the bounty board? There it is, hence bounty board. So that's the Troll Menace, and then the Scavardi attacks was 100 gold pieces. So whatever, you said 39, right?
39 is the daily wages that I have marked.
So then 39 plus 25 would be, you've got 64 total gold waiting for you guys in the Road Warden office upon your guys' submission of the...
64 each?
Yeah, 64 per person.
Not bad.
That is
you guys
not
want to
bad.
go collect that before you head out?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Cool. So you guys go ahead and set about understanding that you guys are going to go and like discuss stuff amongst yourselves and go to the tavern afterwards. You have a good chunk of change waiting for you in Zalam's office of Road Warden Affairs. So you decide to head back over there where Bert and your tag had gone before. You enter inside. It's a relatively quaint establishment. It's raining at all times outside, but it's sort of like a Washington State rain rather than like a Florida rain. It's a drizzle at all.
I was about to say I do not know what the Washington State rain is like.
Washington State is cold and just constant.
Okay, gotcha,
It's not super windy. It's not super bad. Like you would have to stand in like a Florida rain. You stand outside for 30 seconds. You are fully drenched. Washington State rain, you stand out there for 10 minutes and then you're fully drenched. So you can walk around outside. Yeah, basically. It's almost like the water droplets are so close to just being mist that it almost is, but it's heavy enough that it falls like rain. So you guys step through the rain, protecting yourselves in whatever capacity you have to do so if you choose to. And end up in the office, and it's quaint enough. It's dry on the inside. You actually do see, it looks like Bert is actually just on the inside. Looks like he was waiting to see if anyone would actually take him up on his offer, and he sees that you guys enter. He's sitting in what looks like some type of rocking chair towards the entrance, and he stands and he goes, "Welcome," and offers all of you small towels to dry yourselves. He says,
"Thank you." Ty takes one and just starts wiping off his face and everything.
Of course, help yourself.
He gives it back.
Anything? Oh, thank you. Well, go ahead. And he like holds it and he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Of course, we've met very briefly. Bert, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. What do you call yourselves individually?
My name is Caius.
A pleasure to meet you, Caius. Looks to you, Harvey.
I'm Harvey.
Pleasure as well, Harvey. Looks to Lumia.
Hi, I'm Lumia.
Oh, wonderful to make your acquaintance, Lumia. And then looks to Moggs.
Oh, I was on mute. I like interrupted.
Oh no!
Hi, I'm Moggs.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's wonderful to meet you, Moggs. I assume that you might be the more experienced road wardens amongst those that arrived from hence, and so you might have a good chunk of change waiting for you at Primothy's office over yonder. Gestures to what you can clearly see is the finance office. I strongly suggest you go ahead and collect that, and there may be another surprise waiting for you on the inside.
Ooh.
Ice tilts his head. It's like there's more than just financial gains from this.
Well, no, it's just more financial gains, actually. You see, we have a, well, I think I'd much rather them introduce themselves, but I will give you a little bit of a heads up. We have a displaced road warden. They somewhat recently lost their party and are in need of being placed elsewhere. And your names, having recently signed up for the Road Warden Society, popped up as a good first pick. So, if you decide to accept this new member of your party who you've never met and have no idea who they are or if they'll gel with your party or anything, I'll give you all 200 gold.
You're paying us to take on a newcomer.
Yeah.
Wait.
What's wrong with them?
Not
Yeah.
200 gold each?
Yeah.
Sold.
No. You can't decide for the whole
He
party.
holds out his
Wait
hand.
a
Decide for the whole party. We need more details.
That's 800 gold!
He turns, and he goes like, 1,000, because I'm giving it to the newcomer too.
You're paying the newcomer to join a party?
He sort of pauses for a moment and holds his cane out and kind of leans forward on it. And he goes, I want you to imagine something, Mr. Caius. Imagine for a moment.
Imagining.
All right, good. Imagine for a moment that you've been fighting tooth and nail with a group of your 3 closest companions, and for the longest time you didn't think that you could really gel well together, but now after a year or 2 of adventuring, you've finally done it. And now you have a complete stranger in your ranks, just fully fucking off the streets. You have no idea who they are. They're really awkward to be around because they're literally a stranger. What do you think that does to party morale?
It drops considerably.
It's not good. But you want to know what improves party morale?
What?
Money! He points.
Oh.
So, to offset, I know you haven't been together for very long, but it's been, what is it, about a month at this point?
Has it been a month already?
Roundabout, maybe a little less, I suppose. You've been together for around about a month. That's more than enough time to make friends, if not just good acquaintances. You fight together all the time. I would be remiss if I did not offer you some amount of compensation for helping this poor soul. Don't think of it like I'm paying you to take them on. Think of it simply as a bonus.
But
Do
you
we
are
get
paying
to-
us.
Don't say that. Yes, don't say it.
Do we get to meet them first?
Hey, Billy! He shouts, and Minnie, your character hears.
Yes.
through. Can you come on out, Tarly? Minnie, information that you're privy to. You know Bert. You know Tarly. He's a Furbolg man who's head of the recruitment office here. You've been in his office for some time now. And you've now heard Bert on the other end of the hall shouting to you, and he goes, "Come on in here. Let's meet your new party." Please describe your character.
So my character is about 5 foot, maybe 5'2" tall while standing up, and has a tail, a seal tail that grows from her midsection down and kind of just like lays on the ground unless she's really trying. She's wearing kind of like light clothing, and the material's made out of some type of like color shifting satin silky material. She also has like a scarf around her neck. So it's not even like a scarf that really gives warmth. And it really doesn't look like she needs warmth because her whole body is misty and white and looks frozen over. like some parts of her body look like they almost have some sort of like sheen to it. Like if you tapped on it, it would feel like ice sort of thing. Her hair kind of flips up in icicles, and she's got like kind of a mist coming off of her, but you can't really tell as you get close. Huge eyes, kind of like not, you can't see what's behind them and if there's any thought. And she has a bunch of books with her and satchels and kind of like a lot of jewelry pieces.
Oh.
And that's about it.
So
She'll come out kind of not running but walking briskly and putting away stuffed scrolls into a satchel that's on her back and on her side. Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the only person here who doesn't need to make a roll for this is Caius, but everybody else roll a nature check for me.
Morning, guide me.
Yes. Whoever threw that dice that bounced off the table was sick. That was Moggs.
Where am I? Where's my model? I know it's back here somewhere.
That's a
The good one, right?
Oh no, it's one of those days for Haru.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, so Lumia, what's your total?
I have a 14 total.
14, beautiful. Harvey, what'd you get?
6.
Beautiful. Moggs, what'd you get?
11.
11. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that it's just Caius and Lumia that pick up on this. This person, who you've heard the name is Billy, looks like a Selkie, which is a seal person. There are many monster kin that exist, or animal kin that exist in the world of Ashela. Generally, they're sort of lumped into sort of animal person, but there's obviously some exceptions, such as Harvey being a kenku, which is technically like a crow or raven kin. Selkie is one of the more genericized ones, where it's like there are aquatic animal folk, and Selkie is one of those. Generally, they live in more colder climates, and as they sort of emerge, you see they are fully a Selkie person. So they emerge into the entryway and sort of affirm that Bert, that you know, you heard Bert, and Bert kind of like reaches out to you to gesture to the rest of the party and goes, "Billy, meet Lumia, Caius, Moggs, and Harvey. They've accepted the arrangement."
I like shake my head towards each of them when when they say their name, try to take into account. Like she
Yeah, that was Moggs
looks...
and Harvey and Lumia and Caius and Harvey and Moggs and Lumia.
Which one again? You gotta
figure
slow
it out.
down. You gotta slow down, Bert.
Moggs will startle and kind of like jump back up and go, "Mermaid!"
Would I know what that is?
You? No,
I-
actually, you wouldn't know what that is.
What is that? What is a mermaid?
huh.
Careful, if she sings, we're gonna all die.
What did Mog say?
Don't
If she sings, we'll all die.
Lumia kind of taps Moggs and says, "Moggs, what did I say
can't
about being rude?"
I can't sing.
Oh, okay,
So
we're good then.
I think you're good.
It's all good.
Bert kind of looks to Billy and then looks to the rest of the party, and then he goes like, if I could get one of the four of you to come with me, we can get your payment, and then your payment for accepting Billy into the party."
They did?
Yeah, 100%. Every one of them.
Can I tell? Can I tell if they did?
Caius is gonna look to Bert and then
You can tell
look
that
back.
Moggs is the only person who said yes, because Moggs is just an excitable person, whereas Caius, Lumia, and Harvey are very much so trying to measure whether or not that they want to. But Bert is treating it like, because Moggs said yes, everyone else did too.
I can tell this because, I mean, I have pretty low wisdom, but I'm smart enough to be like, okay, maybe there's some trepidation. Billy will like sheepishly hold her hands together and be like, so you guys going out to drink after this? After your long journey? Because they told me that you were on a long journey.
Caius is like,
She
It
sniffs
didn't pick up.
loudly.
Yeah, it didn't pick up, but
She-
she sniffs. That's
who
important.
sniffs?
She
Billy
sounds
does.
she sounds like she has the stuffy nose.
Oh, okay.
And she probably sneezes once or twice while she's talking.
Gotcha. Caius's ears, eyebrows like perk up a bit as she says, "You're going to go get a drink." He starts to approach, approaching Billy, and then like leans forward slightly because
Yes.
she's shorter than him.
Yeah,
like,
very much shorter.
"You're a drinker."
Yeah, and an eater. I'm kind of hungry. Do you like fish?
I do actually like fish.
Oh,
That's
I
not
love
rude,
fish.
is it?
What?
That's not rude, is it?
No, I love fish.
Okay. Well,
She's a selkie. She's
do you
not a
love
fish.
or do you love fish?
I like eating them.
Love fish. Okay, got it.
I half expected Boggs to be like, "Do you like eating them or like eating them? Like what's?"
What?
I don't know.
What?
It sounded like something Boggs
oh
would
my
say.
god.
Oh no.
Oh,
Doing
no.
dinner, you're trying to frigate.
What's that word?
I hate it here.
Oh my god. Okay. But
He's half fish.
Caius is gonna like extend his hand to shake hers. Well,
I hold on my hand and I do shake yours. She's extremely cold. Extremely cold to the touch. Is Caius kind of got like a fiery
Caius is
appearance?
very warm to the
Yeah,
touch,
Caius
and
is
Billy
very
is
warm.
very cold to the touch.
I think
so
there's
Billy-
a bit of
Billy is
steam
like-
that comes off both their hands.
Straight up,
Yeah.
Caius, it is like you've in some way physically interacted with most of your party members at this point, where it is kind of like shaking their hand or something of that nature, and all of them have felt cold to you because that is just kind of how you are as someone who is part Fire Ganassi. When you touch Billy's hand, it is straight up like you are the palm of your hand that interacts with her hand. It's like you just you put it into straight up an ice bath the moment it touches. You're like, holy fuck, that is the coldest thing I've ever felt.
If that's the case, Caius is gonna like tense up a bit with the handshake.
Oh, sorry.
And Billy, inversely, it's like Caius might as well be on fire.
Oh my god. Why is
Muggs-
your hand so hot?
Why are you so cold?
Muggs sees the Steve and goes, Caius, necklace.
What? I didn't do anything.
Don't break her. We need this money.
Oh my god. I don't know
Billy starts laughing. It's okay. It didn't hurt. It's just a bit. Man,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm really cold and sometimes it gets in the way.
If anyone wants to make an Arcana check to figure out why the fuck Billy is so cold, because Selkie is not supposed to be, they can. And Billy, if you want to attempt to mask the
Morning
reason,
guide you.
you're more than welcome to do so with
Morning
whatever
guide who?
is fed.
You, whoever has the
Oh,
Oh,
plaza.
yeah. Gotcha.
She doesn't. She's curious to think what they think.
Okay.
To know what they think about it.
I'll set a lower DC then.
Oh, well, shit. I didn't make it.
Well, it depends.
Oh, God.
Ox made it.
So-
Probably.
Lumia, what total did you get?
I did not roll at all.
If you okay, cool. Harvey, did you roll?
I did not.
Okay. Moggs and Caius, what's your totals?
I got a 9.
I got a 14.
14.
My minus one.
Moggs, you're pretty sure that there's some type of magical affliction that is affecting Billy. Not like a curse, necessarily. Not like a disease, question mark, but something magical and involuntary is affecting Billy.
I think Moggs actually smells this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she literally starts sniffing Billy.
Yeah. 100%. That checks out.
Oh, so what are you doing?
Yes.
Maybe like at one point, Moggs gets like a little too close, and the snout kind of like touches the skin, and it's a little ticklish.
What are you doing?
There's magic. You're magic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mermaids are awesome.
I'm not a mermaid.
Oh,
But
wait, what are you?
I don't even know what that is actually.
Mermaids
Do I have
they're half
anything
people,
in
half
bird?
fish, and then they sing songs, and then everyone on the boat drowns.
Do I know anything about this?
Nope. Never heard
Isn't
it
that
before
a
in your life.
siren?
Well, that sounds really cool. I think I'm gonna
They're like
get out
kind
a
of one and the
notebook.
same.
I'm kind of get out a notebook and write that down
And jot it down.
stuff. Jot it down. No, I don't know what a mermaid is, but thank you for telling me. If we ever see one, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You have legs.
I do
didn't
have
see those
legs.
earlier.
I can walk, but I can swim.
Yeah, a mermaid would only have the tail.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It'd be hard to walk.
Right.
I mean,
well,
basically like a fish.
Well, then. I guess we can discuss you joining the party over drinks. How does that sound? Where do we go to collect the money?
You see, Bert is already taking out a sack of gold.
my
And you
God.
see he's got two. One of them is much bigger than the other. He drops the small one on the table in front of you guys, and he goes, "This is all your payments, collectively, for the number of days that you've been working for the Road Warden Society up until now. And this," he holds the bag over his shoulder, but doesn't put it in front of you, "is if you accept Billy as a party member. I just heard you're gonna go and discuss it over drinks. Now, I want you guys to actually, all jokes aside, I want you to have time to discuss it. So this will be waiting for you if you decide to add Billy to your ranks. All right?
Right.
I nod my head as well.
Go get him, Billy. You're a charismatic young lady. You'll do fine, okay? Don't be nervous.
A charismatic?
Yeah, 100%.
No.
Yeah,
No.
definitely.
No.
You
You're
sniffly...
charismatic.
No.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's doing like the aw shucks.
I'm sorry.
No, you hang up.
I'm sorry. Out of character, real quick, Finn. You calculated how much we get for the day's journey, like the rewarded pay.
It's 63 apiece, right?
64.
64 apiece. Yeah.
I completely lost that for a second.
It was 39, and then you said it was another
20,
25.
Yeah.
Okay, I am now updating that.
64.
All right. So,
I'm so rich.
All right.
I have a feeling I know what the answer to this is going to be, but which of the two taverns do you guys go to?
Oh man.
So I'm actually going to go ahead and say, Billy, you've been here long enough to actually know what's up with both of these taverns. Do you want me to just tell you?
If you want to text me and I describe it, sure.
Sure. Yeah, give me a sec.
That was not Billy. I'm so sorry.
That was Billy. 100%.
That was just a mini quirk.
I have a feeling I know which one we're going to.
That's the fancy one.
That's what in my head. That's what I'm thinking.
You think so?
That's what I'm thinking.
Kaius has a little bow tie.
Oh my god! I didn't know that. Holy shit. Wait. Bella's been...
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, also, the last one, they serve ale.
So, since you guys have got your money now, do you want to... I've been here for a little bit. Do do you want me to tell you what the taverns are?
Sure.
So there's the Silver Spoon, and it's you can sleep there, and I'm assuming you guys will want to sleep here a couple days, or I don't know where you guys headed after this.
Oh, sorry. More context is needed, Minnie. A Road Warden Lodge is not like an inn that you can sleep at. It's just an inn that you don't have to pay for. Nart & Sons is also an inn. You can sleep there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not like you can sleep at this one, but not at this one. You can sleep at both.
Oh, okay.
It's just one of them you don't have to pay for.
Then she'll rephrase it. So the Silver Spoon, we get a discount to stay at that place. It's kind of fancy, and has a lot of wine, but no ale. And I think the food is pretty good. They probably have some food there. And then Nart & Sons, Barely Sober, is not a Road Warden Lodge, so we have to probably pay a little bit more. And they kind of don't like us, but they're not mean to us. And it's run by a lot of gnolls. That, including Nart and Cart and Bart.
Well, they're a family.
Well,
I think, yeah, they're sons. It's Nart and Sons.
well,
A lot of them.
if they're not too privy of road wardens, then I don't think that would be the first place we should go then.
So,
Ugh.
nicer place?
Sounds like we're going to the nicer place.
Let's go.
You sound so disappointed.
You sound disappointed. Why?
They don't have ale.
Why don't we
What?
stop and pick up a barrel and just bring it with us?
We could bring a barrel with us.
You know what? I'll go
Very
grab a
classy.
barrel. I'll go grab a barrel. I'll go meet
Put
you
it
guys
in your room.
there.
Don't put it at the table.
Look, look here.
We all have flasks, right?
How about this? I'll meet you guys at the Silver Spoon. I'm getting me a barrel of ale.
I would like
It's so
to
fucking
stealth
funny.
at him because I don't trust him going to the shitty bar by himself.
Oh.
Okay.
It's more so if somebody says something, Kais is gonna put him through the wall and he might need help.
Might need backup.
Yeah,
Cool.
or an escape.
So,
Caius, what's your passive perception?
Backup king.
it is 10.
10? Alright. Go ahead and roll for it, Harvey, just to get it like locked in.
Okay, I'm gonna do my recall roll.
Okay.
What's a recall roll?
Advantage.
Mm.
Off the map.
Oh, thank fucking God.
I
Wow.
lucked out.
Jesus.
So my advantage is 21.
Okay. You're a ghost. You're a ghost to most people in Zalum, actually. Not just to Caius. So how about we go ahead and cover Lumia and Moggs and Billy, who I assume are just going to go to the Silver Spoon first.
Yeah.
You guys are under the assumption
gonna-
Harvey's with you.
Oh, I was gonna see about bringing Lumia with me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there's still one thing I didn't get to do.
Oh, talk.
Goodbye.
So,
Bye,
because
guys. We'll see you later.
because not only that, Kai's has picked up that Lumia is quite like much better with handling like conversation better than Kai is. And after hearing that the road wardens aren't particularly happy, or aren't welcome at the other tavern.
I mean, if you want Lumia to
sense.
come with you, you got to talk to her.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. So, Lumia, would you be okay with accompanying me to this place? I can't. After hearing what I just heard, I can't promise that a few tables or a person won't end up broken.
Oh boy. Well, while the prospect of you toting a giant barrel into a fancy establishment sounds absolutely mortifying, I will aid you.
I would think they would be okay with it. They're okay with road wardens, right?
Yes, what they may not be okay with is outside food products brought in from another establishment and you not paying for their wine. But I digress. We can figure that out as we go.
Oh, you're right. Right then. So we'll catch you guys at the Silver Spoon. I'm going to go get me a barrel of ale.
All right, as long as you share. What kind do you like?
There's different kinds.
Yeah, I feel like they have a couple different kinds from the couple times I've been.
Depending on how they treat me, we'll see what I come back with. How does that sound?
If you're good enough at talking, you could try to hide that you're a road warden.
I don't think I'll do that. So Lumia, let's be off. I'm thirsty.
Okay.
I'm so thirsty.
So, with this in mind, Harvey, do you still want to tail Caius and Lumia?
I'm not going to. I'd almost feel bad.
Okay.
I'd almost feel like
you can have your use of your roll back then. Your advantage. You can get that back.
Said you trail Billy and Moggs.
Yeah, so Billy, Moggs, and Harvey, the three of you go to the Silver Spoon, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we're walking down. How far is it from the office?
Not very far. I mean, so the town itself is, like, in air quotation marks, large, but mostly on account of the fact that everything is on stilts, and so it has to be kind of spaced out just for weight considerations.
Because it's muddy and stuff.
When you get to the Silver Spoon, it is one of the few establishments that is actually a building. Most of the stuff is just up and kind of anywhere that's up there. Most of the people actually do live in tents and sort of under awnings and stuff of that nature. It doesn't look terrible, it just looks kind of humid and cold. But when you get to the Silver Spoon, you see that it is similar to the Road Warden office. It is an actual building that is up on sort of stone pillars instead, and there's a staircase that leads up to the door. You see that the only denotation that this is the Silver Spoon is a literal sort of like a sign that is a spoon painted silver that is over the door. And as you enter in, the first thing that strikes you is sort of the aroma of cooked meats is like one of the things that strikes you. You smell what can only be described as something that is very herbal and savory, and it frankly makes your mouths water immediately. And you see that it's relatively populous with a bunch of folks. The road wardens that recently arrived actually came here when they arrived, so they've already got tables and stuff of that nature. And as you step in, you actually see that there is a half-elven woman with blonde hair tied up into a tall pony or a high ponytail on the back of her head. Despite being tied into a ponytail, the hair still comes down almost like to her thighs, and she's sort of like. It almost looks like she is skating up to you on roller skates, but then you can see that she's wearing like shoes. She's using magic to do so. She arrives to where the three of you have entered, and she says, yes, hello, I am Eladine. I am the owner of the fine establishment of the Silver Spoon. Will you be staying with us, dining with us, or both?
I think just dining for now. I look at the rest of the party because I don't know what they're doing.
We're probably going to stay the night as well. We also have 2 party members that will be joining us later.
Understood. Party members, you say? You are road wardens then?
Correct.
Hi, I'm Moggs.
Hello, Moggs. This makes my job much easier. Go ahead, take a seat wherever you like. I will be right over to take your order.
Just as a warning, because you're the owner, we have a party member that is bringing a barrel of ale. I'm certain they're not going to bring it into the dining area. Okay. I just wanted to warn you that they're going to probably place that in their room.
If they would like to, they're more than welcome to take it to their room. I would only ask that they don't stain the wood.
I feel like that's more than reasonable.
course. And if they need any assistance in getting it up the stairs, I will be more than happy to provide said assistance. You see that she kind of nods to you and says, I'll keep an eye out for your party, and if I see them enter, I will gesture to your table. And then she skates off and completes it. But you see that as she is, she goes back into the kitchen, there are other employees that are back there cooking things and washing dishes and stuff. But when she comes to take things out to people, she casts a spell, what looks like a mage hand of some sort, and carries the plates on the platter. Very, very... It has an enhanced stability that someone who is on roller skates wouldn't normally have. And she brings them to tables and tosses them out to people and gets their wine and so on and so forth. It doesn't look like she's doing so with any amount of rush or hurried, she's not being like harried in doing this. She's very much so sort of coming to the back, making sure to get everything properly placed and neat, and then coming back out. And as you step in, you can see that most of the establishment on the interior is made of this beautiful birch wood. It looks very clean and neat, a far cry from what is outside of it being sort of constantly muddy and stuff of that nature. And as you look down, as you look down at your shoes, you actually notice there's no mud on them. There's something in the entranceway that cleans the mud off of you, some simple prestidigitation.
That's so cool. A fucking, like, mat of
self-cleaning.
cleaning.
Yeah, effectively a self-cleaning doorway, the self-cleaning mat. But you guys find a booth or a table, whatever suits your fancy. Is there anything the three of you want to discuss amongst yourselves, or would you like me to cut over to the other two?
So, do you guys get here okay? Like your whole caravan?
So when we get to the table, Boggs pulls out a chair and then has Webby take a position over that chair.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness, that's so cool.
And then pulls out a chair and gestures for Billy to sit in it.
Sure, yeah.
And then plops herself down on the floor behind Billy and starts playing with her tail. And she will cast Ritual Identify on
On the tail?
On Billy's tail.
I'm gonna inspect Webbigail and accidentally, like, her tail kind of has a mind of its own sometimes, kind of like a cat almost, and kind of like just flops on the ground. And it's kind of heavy.
It's a very heavy tail, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hefty tail. Like it's all blubber there.
It's all blubber.
It's all blubber here.
I'll give it to you. Ritual cast Identify. I know it's supposed to take 11 minutes, but I'll give it to you now. While technically the target is meant to be an object that you touch, and Billy's tail arguably classifies as an object, I don't mind. This seems fun. This is the tail of a Selkie who is afflicted by an unnamed disease. The reason it is unnamed is because no one else has ever had it before.
disease.
Not a spell.
Not a spell.
Moggs is doing this. I kind of want to see what Webbigail's about.
Webbigail is honestly kind of stick bugging, kind of vibing, like bouncing up and down, back and forth every once in a while. It seems like they have boundless energy.
I'll turn to Harvey. Did it take you guys a long time to get here? Where'd you come from?
Oh, where did we come from?
Where
Is
did you
the
go?
question of the day. So I'm pulling up we came from Henst.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's far away too. I first
we've been
got
on
here from Philly. I had to travel here. Well, I traveled with my party.
I'm from Philly.
You're from Philly?
I'm from Philly.
Yo!
Yo,
Oh.
cheese whiz or provolone.
God.
Cheese. I don't know what that is.
My wife doesn't have the context required, but
Sorry.
that's so funny.
It was a Philly cheesesteak.
What?
She's losing it.
No, there's a.
They put like canned cheese on it.
10 cheese.
Like spray cheese? Cheese whiz?
Imagine
I
this is
can't
in
tell if
character,
this
it's
is a
so funny.
character.
No. This
No,
is
I
an
really
out of
love the idea
character,
of
like
Holly
fun fact
saying,
about.
yeah, spray cheese.
I
it
know what
is.
spray cheese is.
Sorry, I'm just dropping some like Philadelphia knowledge on you.
It's so funny.
We actually have a really good Philly cheesesteak place here in my town that's like super authentic.
I haven't been there in a hot minute. You know what?
Oh man.
We take this opportunity to
Boy.
take our break. We're about 2.5 hours in. I think this is a fine opportunity for us to like get up, go to the restroom and stuff. So the walk to Nart and Sons is a little bit longer than the walk to the Silver Spoon. It's a little bit more out of the way. It is an establishment that is entirely on wooden stilts. The whole place is kind of suspended up above the marshlands, such that you can actually see there. Once you start arriving here, you have to kind of like walk up some steps and walk down some steps. It's a winding sort of passage to get through anywhere in Zalam here. There's not really like alleyways or anything. It's just you've got the wood that you can stand on, and then you have the mud below it. And so you're on, and when I say it's on stilts, some areas of this place are no more than like 3 feet off the ground, but most areas of this place are anywhere from 10 to 20 feet off the ground. So you're a substantial distance from the mud below you. In some of these cases, there are actually nets that are beneath in the case that someone were to fall. And most of these places do have like ropes lining the edges to make sure that it's harder for you to fall, like rope fences and stuff. But as you actually see Nart and Sons while you're on the way there, it looks like a full-fledged, just this cacophonous tapestry of ropes and staircases and wood and pillars and planks and all kinds of bullshit that's just fully out in the open. It is covered by cloth wherever it's applicable. It's covered by wood wherever applicable, but there are no walls to the establishment to speak of. Mostly it is out in the open, so you see that there are tables and chairs and food and mugs of ale and gigantic barrels of ale that are behind a big bar that is in the center of this area, kind of forming this circle. And beneath the bar, you can actually see there is what looks like a ladder and a big net that is under this whole establishment. In the net, there are a bunch of crates and barrels and other such things. That is their storage area. They either fall. You see these knolls. There are like 24 of them that are going to and fro. It's chaotic in this place. It's massive too. But you see that sometimes a knoll will just intentionally fall off of like what is effectively a 3-story long drop into the net and like roll a little bit and then grab something from down there, like grab a couple more mugs or maybe get a barrel, the whole thing, and start to like rope pulley lift it up with this contraption, or we'll just start climbing back up the ladder with something in their mouth. Or it's
So is this like a place we can see from the distance?
Yes.
Okay.
That's insane.
It is truly like a jungle gym. It is like an adult jungle gym.
Natural habitat.
It is.
But
it's also very loud. Even from this distance, you can hear a lot of sort of boisterous laughter and people kind of maybe on the cusp of getting into bar brawls and stuff of that nature. Is there anything that you two do before you actually like approach proper?
Oh, I think before we go in, Caius, we should strategize. I don't think there will be many rules here, but the first one will certainly be to, under no circumstances, mention that we are road wardens.
why? I mean, if you say so, but we fought worse.
Okay.
But
So in this situation, I think what we have to think about our goal, right? We want to get in and out with a barrel of ale. We want to meet our new friend Billy, share that ale with her. It might be hard to do that if we get into a bar brawl, and there is only 2 of us, so.
I understand. I okay, but I promise you, if one of them tries anything, I can't make any promises that somebody's gonna come out of there unscathed.
No
Lumia-
one's gonna try anything. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I give him like 2 fingers, your eyes to my eyes. Look at me. We're right here. We're right here. Just follow my lead. It's gonna be great.
Lumia, as
All
you
right.
say this, and as Caius is like, I can't promise not to get in a fight, you see, you're too far away to actually see the expressions on these people's faces, but you see 2 people in like a taller area of the towering spire that is this establishment, having a bunch of empty bottles adjacent to one another on tables, picking them up and smashing them on the other's head, and then the other one repeats that process. And after maybe 3 or 4 bottles apiece, one of them falls into the net below, like a full 4 or 5 story drop.
I'm now debating leaving Caius outside, but now I feel like it's slightly dangerous to go without him, so I'm just gonna take the chance.
Cool. So you guys go inside?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's up? Would you like me to step in first?
You know what? Yes.
All right. So Caius is gonna go up the steps and go in first.
I would like for you guys to roll for me a D20 and a D10 and tell me what the total of
What
it
the
is.
fuck?
Only
This is
one
new.
of you rolls it.
You know what? I'm gonna have Lumia do that and put some guidance on that if we need to.
There's no need for guide. This
Oh,
isn't
okay.
this isn't like a check or anything. This is just
Oh,
a
okay.
D20 and a D10. It's to determine something.
Something.
Yeah.
Got it.
What number is that? 26.
Ooh,
That's pretty damn good.
that's amazing.
Okay.
We're not getting hit in bottles.
So you guys, there is a staircase that leads up to what is effectively the second of about 5 stories to this place. The second story is sort of the entranceway. The bottom one is the net, and then there's a 3rd, 4th, and 5th is the very topmost, which you've seen people falling off of by smashing bottles on each other's heads. So realistically, the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th stories are like the normal you can eat and drink here stories. And you actually do note, it looks like the 4th story is supposed to be where the lodging is, where people will sleep. There are tents and sort of like actual doors and drapery that sort of like has privacy in some capacity to where you could rest there. Not that you think you would get any fucking sleep in this place, but you could if so desired. But as you enter in, what was it, 26 that you rolled?
Mm-hmm.
A knoll literally jump scares you guys by falling and hanging from one of his legs on a rope that is like tied around his ankle, and literally swings past you and goes, "Hello, I'm Stuart," and then he swings past the other way and he goes, "Welcome to Nod and Sons Barely Sober," and he's swinging back and forth as he's speaking. He's like, "Would you like a table?"
I look back at Lumia and then remember what she just said. I'm gonna shake my head. No, we're not here for a table.
Well, what the fuck are you here for? You see that he unties his leg and falls in a heap
Oh my
on
God.
the wood, and then kind of like dusts himself off. And for those who are uninitiated, gnolls are hyena people. They kind of have a hunch. The best way to do. Oh no, you guys have played Baldur's Gate 3 before. You've seen gnolls before.
Yeah.
These are a lot less like morbid than the gnolls that exist in
Okay,
the
I was
Forgotten
about
Realms.
to say those are some ugly little shits.
I mean, they do still look pretty ugly, but it's not like they were not born from the carcasses of other, hyenas.
Yeah.
They're a lot more of like an established race that has some credence in the world. They're fully.
Oh, wait, I was thinking of the gnomes. Never mind. You said
Gnomes?
Oh my god.
What do you got against gnomes, man?
Hey, man. you think
Damn.
those are
Ugly
great?
fuckers.
Dude, those ugly.
Look,
So
Auntie Ethel and
hateful.
her gnomes.
Oh,
Whatever.
the red caps.
Yeah.
Those guys. Yeah, those guys were.
Okay.
Those are fey creatures. Those aren't necessarily gnomes.
Okay, gotcha.
God, I'm a fucking virgin. Anyways, let's.
Oh my god.
But you see that the gnoll kind of falls into a heap on the ground, stands up and dusts himself off, and he's like, "Well, if you're not here for a table, what you're here for? You're here for just to grab a piece of grub and leave."
We're here in search of a barrel of ale. We'd like
A
to purchase
barrel?
one.
A whole barrel of ale.
My friend
Or
here
2.
can really put him back.
Looks at you, Caius, and kind of starts sizing you up and goes like,
Well, a barrel of ale is a pretty substantial sum. Are you sure you're good for the money?
Yes.
All
Trust
right.
me, I don't believe. Well, before I say that, what are you talking? How much are you talking?
A barrel, well, it depends on what type of barrel. You know what? Come here. It's probably best if you come here. He sort of starts to like walk through the tavern proper, and it is loud in here. There are people laughing. There are people shouting. There are people banging on tables. You see, there is someone who stabs a knife into another person's hand. As they are playing cards, and you actually see that from the person whose hand was stabbed, out of his sleeve drops 2 aces in the game that they were playing. He was cheating.
God.
And you see that they immediately kind of like pull the knife out of their hand and they run out before they get fucking beat to shit by all the other people playing cards.
Here's my question now.
Yeah.
How much does Lumia stand out here?
Like a sore fucking thumb. Lumia, you are seriously like, you might as well have like a quest giver arrow over your head kind of deal. Like it's seriously not good.
Why? Because of my
Because you're
race.
clean.
Oh.
And you're clean in full metal armor. All the other people here are honestly dirty, muddy. They've got cloth.
I fit right in.
They've got cloth or leathers in some capacity. There's maybe 1 or 2 people here who have like rusty chainmail or scale mail in some capacity. You're the only person in the room with properly cleaned metal armor. You also have we established that you've sprouted your wings?
No, that has not come to fruition yet.
Okay, good. Because that would be, oh my god. That would be fucking rough right now. But no, it is still like, you are still sticking out like a sore thumb, just as a consequence of like, you're relatively clean. You haven't been in Zalam for very long. The longer you stay in this place, the muddier you will end up being.
Quick question again. I just want to reiterate. Did you say there was a hole in the center of this place?
So in the actual, like, where the bar is, behind the bar is a hole where the employees can go down to get stuff from the net.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So it's not accessible by every person, so he takes you to that bar area, and you actually see that he sort of like hops over the bar. There are a dozen other gnolls that are going to and fro and hawking, orders to people and getting mugs of ale out and so on.
They're
and so
like
forth.
palicos.
And you see that he reaches down. Oh, so also for context, the gnolls here rise up to about like 6'6", 6'7".
Whoa.
Gnolls are huge. He reaches down under the bar and gets up what looks to you to be like a smaller barrel, and he says, "This is a standard gallon of ale. It's about 6 mugs worth roundabout," and he sort of gestures to the mugs that are going to and from. They're sizable mugs. He's like, "It's 2 silver for this," which is again a gallon, so about 6 servings. If you're actually talking about a keg, like a proper barrel of ale, that's going to be a special order, and that's probably like, I don't know, fucking 100 of these. So you're looking at probably about 20 gold pieces, maybe 2 platinum pieces, thereabout.
Ooh.
If you want the whole shebang, you ask for a barrel.
Now then, I would like to know, is like the size of the keg, can I carry 2 of those?
Of the gallon kegs? Yeah, absolutely.
No, not the gallon.
So when he describes a barrel of ale, it's one of the things that is up against a wall in a winery kind of deal.
Caius.
Gigantic barrels.
Like 100 servings of ale.
He sort of like points to it and he goes like, "I would be surprised, frankly, if you could get one of those out of here."
Well,
Perhaps 2 of the smaller ones.
What she said.
He looks to Caius and leans over the table, and he goes like, Only 2 of the smaller ones? Were you not chuffed up enough to get one of the bigger ones out of here?
We didn't ask for an upsell.
You don't think you're strong enough, do you? Or you're just worried you're going to be drunk under the table by your lady friend here?
I'm gonna
She
slowly
looks like
turn
she
to
could outdrink you.
Lumio.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm slowly turning to Lumio,
I'm giving Caius
and I
a
am like
panicked
greeted,
look.
and I am gritting my teeth.
I'm gonna be honest.
Nicholas?
She looks like she could outdrink you.
I was imagining Caius like standing up straight, rotating, and you get like that stone grinding sound.
So you said the small ones, like.
Yeah. So the small, they are gallons. They are 6 mugs of ale. They are a substantial amount of liquor. It is to the point where you will need to make a Constitution saving throw with increasing difficulty for every mug that you have. After the 6th of which, it will be like a DC 30 Constitution saving throw to try and avoid getting drunk. It is a lot of ale.
All right.
It's 2 silver for one of those gallons.
I'm gonna look back to Lumia and be like, can I have 3 at the most?
Of course, that is totally fine.
I'll take 3.
3 what? 3 of the big ones?
3 of the small
The
barrels.
small little baby tiny barrels.
Caius is, you can see that like Caius is breathing heavy to where you can see his shoulders rising up and down.
The small little tiny baby teeny tiny barrels.
Lumia.
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, sure, I'll get you 3. You want me? I'll even give you a discount on it. You say you want 3, it's 2 silver a piece. I'll give it to you for 5 silver and 5 copper. How about that? 5 copper discount.
That sounds perfect. Thank you.
Beautiful. Of course. Give me a moment. I'll go ahead and get into you. And you see that so I rolled an insight check for him to determine whether or not he was about to start a fight with Caius, and he rolled high enough to determine if he kept pressing, it probably would have like. Caius has a short fuse sometimes, and Caius had a lot of self-control there, and this guy was going to keep pressing if he failed his check. So he hops. You see that he just jumps down the hole and goes like, and then comes back up. You see that there's like a pulley that is lifting up 3 of these sort of gallons that are in a loose knot. He climbs up the ladder after it and then sort of unties it, puts all 3 of them on the table, and then says, all right, that's 5 copper. 5 copper and 5 silver.
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and slide that over to him.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to go ahead and take
pushes the gallons to you. Add 3 gallons of ale to your inventory.
Yes.
If you want to be more accurate, it is 18 servings of ale.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, you can be more specific. Yeah, it's 3 gallons. It's more properly specified as 18 servings.
Gotcha.
He sort of smiles to you and he's like, all right, well, is there anything else I could get you? Is it just ale? You don't want to try any of our mutton or anything like that?
Actually, I want to ask you a quick question. Information, if you will.
Sure.
What do you know of the Phoenix Mother?
Well, the Phoenix Mother? Be careful saying that name around here, my friend. Phoenix Mother is not well liked amongst the individuals in the northern parts of Serendipitous. She's, well, how shall I put this gently? People call her a murderer.
Caius's eyes kind of like widen a little bit, like, and he's gonna lean in like, what do you mean a murderer? Like, just senseless?
Nope, she is in the business of killing, and unfortunately, the enemies of the Jamolian Empire are pretty much everybody that's not a member of the Jamolian Empire. Gods be damned if they're refugees from the Tabaton continents or refugees from Swarvel. She has slaughtered many. I would guesstimate, perhaps not her personally, but her entourage has probably got about 4 to 5 digits under their belt. 4 to 5 digits as in 4 to 5 digits of people killed.
Caius is a little taken aback, especially since, like, yeah, Caius is a warrior, but it's not like he just
this is
go
like
up there.
senseless kind
Yeah,
of
that's
like
what I'm
killing
picking up.
civilians kind of deal. It's definitely one of those deals where it's like, oh, this is a group of displaced people running from Swarvel after it was destroyed by a bunch of monsters. She kills them.
Caius just simply says, "Oh," and then kind of steps away, because he's a little taken aback from what he just heard. And he's gonna like there's a visible like almost anger in his eyes, but he's like holding it in.
Lumi, you can there's honestly probably no chance that Caius could hide that.
Yeah, I actually want to ask Caius, who is the Phoenix Mother?
Apparently, from what I heard from the trolls, that's actually my biological mother.
Are you within earshot of the knoll when you say this?
Oh!
I know.
I am so I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. This is the DM trick, the oldest DM trick in the book. I'm giving it to you for free this time. But in any other instance, if you don't specify where you go or what you try to do, I will assume the previous scene that we effectively had is the established norm, and will act under the assumption that any character in the surrounding area you were interacting with is still there. For this time, you're perfectly fine to step away from them. However, in the future, if you start talking and don't specify you step away, this motherfucker's gonna be like, "You're her kid," and just like start fucking
because like when I said after he said what he said, Caius did only say "oh" and took a steps away, a little bit, like took some steps back.
I gotcha.
Then that like he turned to
one.
That's what I'm saying. He turned to Lumia, and that's when kind of Lumia could see the expression and everything.
As soon as he said that, I imagined you guys getting chased out of the bar, doing like, "Start the plane!"
We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But no, so Caius is like literally facing Lumia. Like from what I heard from the trolls, that is my biological mother, who I didn't even know was alive until I heard from the trolls.
That's crazy,
So-
Caius. Is that why you're here? Are you looking for her? Like, is that why you're in?
Not at all. That's not it. That's not at all why I was here. I was only here to see about becoming Xavier Era's chosen warrior. Even though my tribe tried to talk me down from going, I couldn't just let that go.
I kind of give Caius a strange look, because following the battle that we had with the goblins at the cave, Lumia clearly clocked that Caius already has some favor. And I think I'm just gonna say, so you want to be their chosen warrior, but do you not already curry some favor with them?
What gives you that idea?
Lumia is kind of dumbfounded, just remembering how he basically blew himself up and lived to tell the tale. Are you serious? Like, what happened back at the battle at the cave with the goblins? Like, your deity totally saved your ass and saved us by extension.
Caius is like blinking, like some completely confused, because Caius believes that he was just like, he thought he was just hardy enough to probably tank that. So he's gonna be like, no, I thought that was just the results of my training.
Caius,
And being able to.
do you not know how oil works? It didn't magically ignite itself.
Well, no, I can, of course not, but I can produce flames as he like lights up his hand on fire.
Yes, but it wouldn't have exploded in that way. I could see it clear as day.
Well, I guess there's much more to this that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if what I was doing was correct in appeasing my god, but
I mean, based on what I know, which is quite a fair amount considering my background, I think you absolutely have definitely curried some favor. I don't know if you're their chosen warrior or not yet, but I think you're on the right path.
hearing that, Caius is like reinvigorated about like he's not angry anymore. He kind of got excited, like he starts beaming, and he's holding the barrels, like is the barrels of ale like in a net all together that I'm just holding over my shoulder?
He tied him up in a rope and then that.
Okay, so yeah, he just has that over his shoulder. He like leans closer to Lumia like real quick, like, are you serious? Can you please, like, I have no way to like keep gauge of this. Will you be able to help me with this?
I mean, I will as much as I can. Sure.
Kai's literally just starts laughing, like bellowing out like the most heartiest laugh you could probably hear belt out. And he literally puts a hand on his Lumia's shoulder, like almost shaking her, like saying, "This is such a great day. I can't believe I had such a capable party member with me this entire time to actually let me know I'm gaining favor with my god or not."
Lumi is flailing around as Caius just shakes the shit out of her without realizing it.
Oh gosh.
So do you guys want to make your way from Narton Sons back to the Silver Spoon?
Yeah, let's do it.
I was about to say, was there any information you wanted? Anything here?
Yeah, that is a good question as well. I mean, obviously you can ask around.
Oh, I can't resist. All right, I'm gonna walk back over to the barkeep and say, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. I know we just."
Do you roll another D20 and another D10?
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa, that's crazy that you got both 4 and a 4.
At
So
least
the
we're
last
just consistent.
knoll that you spoke with was Stuart. You see that another knoll that is almost identical in appearance but slightly different with what he's wearing pops up when you say hey, and he goes, "Yeah, hello, I'm Dewart. What can I help you with?"
Dewart. You know what? Never mind. Hi, Dewart.
Yeah.
I was wondering, may I ask you a question, maybe for some information?
Well, most people have certainly tried to ask me questions and many have failed.
Oh, out of curiosity, why is that?
I don't know. It was a joke.
Oh,
What you got for me?
great sense of humor. So I was wondering, have you heard any news of a fellow named Tally passing through these parts?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll this in front of the table. This is a history check for him. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yusiko's Tally. Where do I remember that name from?
Feathered cap, looks terrifying.
I think Nevar might have heard of. Hey, Nevar! You see he shouts up like a full 2 stories, and you see another Knoll pokes his head out, sort of like dangling off of one of the ropes, and goes, "Yeah?" And says, "Have you heard of a bloke by the name of. What was it again? It was Tally?
Tally, yes.
Have you heard of a fella by the name of Tally?" And you see that Nevar, the individual who he's speaking to, is like, "Yeah! Fucking never paid his tab. It's like 50 gold." And you see at this point, Dewart kind of like looks to you and is like, "Are you a friend of Tally's?"
Oh, no, I'm certainly no friend of his. I'm actually looking for him. I have a few debts that I'm trying to settle once I find him. So I suppose I shall add yours. You said it was what? How much? 50 gold?
Yeah, he squints. 50 gold. Go ahead and roll a diplomacy check for me, a persuasion check.
I was about to say a diplomacy check.
Sorry,
Run
Pathfinder.
system.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay. Morning guide me. Please give me a good one.
God, please.
Why do you hate me?
You have inspiration.
Wait, it's a what check again? I'm so sorry.
It's persuasion.
Oh, I have a +6 to persuasion. Should I inspire it
that
anyway?
Would bring it from 6 to 12.
Okay, well, I'm gonna burn my inspiration. I never use.
So
my
you
inspiration.
still have the +4 from your guidance. You don't have to re-roll that, but you do
Okay.
re-roll the d20.
If this is worse,
So this will
I
be
cry.
a total, including guidance and your bonus, a total of +10 on whatever this is. 18. Okay, so much better than 12. You see, like you asked, like how much was it? 50 gold. You see, he goes, yeah, it's 50 gold. And if you see that bastard, can you let him know that he needs to come by and pay that fucking tab? 50 gold. Listen, we're a small establishment. I mean, we're a large establishment, but we're a family-run establishment, and we can't just be throwing away 50 gold worth of merchandise like that. It's not like we have pockets and pockets to spare.
That's totally reasonable. Once I find him, I will do everything I can to get your money back for you.
That's very kind of you, ma'am. I appreciate that. You do take care, of course, if you do find him. He is a slimy fucker.
So I've heard, unfortunately.
Do you have any other information you want to ask him?
No, I think that about covers it. Thank you for your time, Dewart. Stuart.
You see that there's a completely different Noel who's now in front of you, and he goes, "Actually, it's Hobbit, actually."
Jesus.
And you go about your business and set off for the Silver Spoon, at which we will cut back to the Silver Spoon. At this point, since this is a Road Warden Lodge, food and a day's stay is free, with the exception of it is like a serving of food and not like it's not an all-you-can-eat buffet. So you order whatever it is that you guys want, and you get the food as desired. What would you guys be looking for, generally speaking?
Fish.
Fish? Okay.
Can't believe we had the same name gag planned for this session.
Also, I want to ask what fucking Moggs does when she figures that out.
Yeah, why don't we pick back up at that exact moment? We'll say that you guys have put in orders for food and drink and what have you, and Moggs, you finish your casting of Identify to learn that there is a disease that has no name because no one else has ever had it before.
Do I know if it's contagious?
You have no clue.
So, wait, I was going to interrupt in the middle of the conversation and then to say that, like, in the process of casting Identify, one of the things that Moggs did with the table was like nibble on it a little bit.
Oh no!
On my tail?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's talking to Harvey and talking about where she's from or where she was last.
Not like hard. Just like teething it.
You feel a little nibble on your tail.
What are you, Moggs? What are you doing?
This is part of the process.
What process? Can I try to determine what she's doing?
I'm gonna ask to try a bite. Hey.
Can I tell what kind of spell she's casting?
Yeah, I'd say you'd recognize the Identify spell.
You have to.
Really?
You have to.
Well, actually, no. It's Moggs casting it. Never mind. You have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Can I try and figure out?
Roll an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Let me see what I have.
Thanks for keeping me honest on that, Fen, because I just it fully went over my head. It's like Moggs is casting Identify.
Yeah. That is a 14.
14 still.
Yeah, 14.
14 still with an 8 on the die. I would say, what's your DC for your spellcasting stuff, Fen?
My spellcasting DC.
I'm not mistaken. I think it's 14.
Spell save DC 14.
You meet a spell save DC to try and figure out what the hell it is that they're casting. They are not casting Identify in a way you've ever recognized Identify able to be cast. They're not doing any spell component stuff. Obviously, like, you've had to kind of reacquaint yourself with what the fuck spell casting is nowadays, but, like, this is not what you've learned within the last couple of months. This is not at all what you've learned is supposed to be spell casting. There's no incantation. There's no there's no book or no reading or anything like that. They're kind of just nibbling on your
Looking
tail
around.
and fucking with it.
Ooh, how are you doing
They,
that?
like, slap it every once in a while.
Do I sense any magical presence at all?
Yeah. You know that it's the Identify spell, but it's not supposed to be cast like that.
Oh, that changes everything. I turn back to Harvey and give it no mind, really. Like if you nibble again, it might be a little cold. it might hurt a little bit of your teeth. And I'll be
It's like that tooth sensitivity after a filling kind of deal.
Oh my god, yes. Or like you eat something hot and then you eat something cold at the same time.
Cool.
Harvey, you said you guys were from
We
You guys
came from
started out
Hengst.
in Hens?
Yes.
How is it there?
It's nice.
Small town.
It's kind of small. The coast is nice.
Yeah, I like being by the water. Obviously, I don't think I'd be comfortable anywhere else.
Have you been up there?
No, but as before, I did come from Philly, so I did travel like a little ways over here, like a lot of ways, I guess. I had to cross the ocean.
I want to. God, what kind of fish was he?
Oh, the
Macromore.
macromore.
That is
Yeah,
the
they were
fish
basically a
type.
shark.
Okay. I want to do like a rough doodle. And
Of
like
the
show,
macromore, yeah.
yeah, of Macromore, and be like, hey, if you see these guys, just try not to eat them.
What are they? Do I know what those are?
No,
They're
Seen those?
no.
they are my sons.
Oh, how does that work?
It was a really confusing quest.
Oh,
They're called Macromore, and they're pretty peaceful.
Fucking
Oh.
macromores. God damn it.
I'll try.
I
to
forgot
keep
he was
that
my
in mind.
son.
Your son. I'll keep that in mind. I don't eat like people's fish, like if they're pets. I don't.
They're not pets. They're just the species
The species
is under our protection.
Oh, like you help them?
Yes.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't really done anything crazy like that. Just fought a few monsters.
Mog screams.
Oh, what? What? Are you okay?
And like jumps up and is like in a panic, like shaking their hands, and grabs whatever the nearest alcohol source she can find to dump in her mouth.
It's at this time that it is around this time that Lumia and Caius have entered, and you see that Caius has 3 underslung barrels of ale over his shoulder.
Oh man, that's the party vibe I'm going for.
Completely like just blind panic rushes over and tries to get one of the barrels.
So I'm going if
Caius is immediately about to try and palm.
okay,
like,
Caius wants to
mugs.
contest for sure. I will let you guys determine what you think is a reasonable check to make for you guys to contest this.
Of course, I'm about to use strength.
So athletics.
Yeah,
So we'll
you
say,
wanna do
we'll say
that
Caius
first?
is making an athletics check, and Moggs, what type of check would you like to make?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand? Okay.
Can I guide someone?
You can guide someone.
Does
Spiked like a fucking football, dude.
You want Webbingale to help you?
Does Webbingale reactively help me?
They're going to use the help action.
All right, then I'm going to guide Caius.
Webbingale sees you go for the barrels on Caius's back and immediately just kind of skitters over.
Where did I throw those?
And instinctually, like, basically, you mount Webbingale in the moment that this
Ooh,
happens.
So close.
Okay,
I mean,
so
so close. I think.
I think you won.
Caius,
Mog's
what's
rolled
your
with
total?
advantage, I think.
Yeah, was Moggs' roll with advantage because of the help action from Abigail?
Yes,
Or
it was
Okay.
advantage because of the help action. So, Caius, what is the total that you rolled with for athletics?
total would be 25.
Jesus.
Didn't you rolled a 17 and then you got a 4 on the die?
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a modifier of 4 to my strength.
Oh, okay.
Is,
your
is that
athletics?
is that a modifier of 4 to your athletics?
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me double check this. Yep. Hang on. Okay, there we go. It is. Oh, my athletics? No. Okay, so that's a 27. I have a +6 to athletics.
Does Moggs come anywhere close?
18.
God damn it. You scramble for the barrels, and Caius effectively hoists them over his head. It's around this point
Oh, I thought I was
a much more easily accessible. A tray of like liquor is being carried by the sort of proprietor of the establishment. That you could also go for Moggs if you wanted to.
Because I was legit about to be like, I just kind of grab Moggs and like hold her up, like, what are you doing?
Billy speaks up and she's like, oh, I guess she really wants to drink now. I'm glad you brought the barrels.
Moggs, what's wrong?
I need a drink, I need a drink, I need a drink, I need a drink.
I'm gonna throw my water skin at Moggs. Or 2 Moggs, not like at.
Throw the water skin at Moggs and feeds him in the forehead.
Does it have alcohol in it?
You what?
Does it have alcohol in it, or is it full of water?
It's full of water, because it's a water skin.
You take like a sip and realize it's full of water.
No, alcohol! Alcohol!
Okay, calm down. Let us pour you a glass. Jeez.
Listen, if you want to be rowdy, the other place is a bit better.
It's at this point, the Eladine sort of comes over with that tray of sort of, there's wine on the tray, and she's sort of like, is everything all right?
I think so. I don't know.
Yes.
She's got a disease!
Oh,
That's
A disease?
Moggs, that is
What?
definitely rude.
That's not rude, that's just what it is!
They-
It's a magic disease! It's in my mouth!
Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
that's
who did that?
It's not in your mouth. It's not. It can't be in your mouth unless I let it be in your mouth.
I'm looking around frantically between Billy and Moggs, like, what the fuck is
what
going
the hell
on?
happened.
I like how Harvey's the only one who's not part of the two of them who's privy to the information. Harvey's just gonna sit there and watch this. Harvey's just gonna fucking watch.
Maybe you guys should sit down.
Yeah, could we get like five tankards, please?
Of wine.
Empty
Think hard!
tankards.
Something hard. Okay, understood. I will be a
Of
moment.
hard something.
I want my
something
tankard
hard.
empty, please.
Understood. She sort of harries off and comes back to your guys' table maybe like 30 seconds later with 5 empty tankards, along with what looks like the food that Harvey and Billy and Moggs had ordered, if any. Sets it on the table.
I definitely ordered fish.
Yeah.
Like
they
the-
ask if you want it cooked.
She says like a couple cooked and a couple not cooked, and if she needs to pay extra for that, she has some amount of money to pay
shakes
for that.
her head and she's like, we are a road warden establishment. We are paid by the government.
Yeah, but you
Um,
said you couldn't like give us like a lot.
Sort of like puts a hand on your shoulder and she's like, ma'am, it really is no problem.
Okay.
And when she returns, she does have what looks like there is like a grilled filet with some lemon and some herbs on top, maybe some capers and stuff like that. And then you have a couple of thin slices of what looks like some salmon and another couple thin slices of tuna that are maybe like they were walked across a fire.
Yeah, they like the oh god, tuna
So sashimi. Mostly tuna tataki, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you are supplied with your food and cups, and she does sort of like lean forward and she's like, would you all like some additional napkins? I know that these barrels from Knott and Sons can be a little unwieldy sometimes. They might leak.
Yes, please.
Sure, I guess. I mean,
Understood. She harries off and leaves you all to your devices.
One of those was the hard drink that I ordered.
Yes.
Bugs immediately catches it and just throws back the head and like someone who's dying of thirst is just like pouring it all over their mouth. It's going everywhere.
It is a glass of bourbon. Make a Constitution save.
It's like a fucking tankard of bourbon.
Pretty much. I mean, Moggs ordered a bunch of bourbon.
I can't take you all anywhere.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
22.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Holy shit. I don't
That
like
is like-
keeping things from people.
It's a big
So-
mouthful. It's like swishing it,
I
like shaking her head to swish it.
Billy goes,
God.
I promise you're okay, Moggs. I promise. I know what you just did. Like, you identified, but you didn't, like, identify in the right way. But you did for you, so that's cool. And I think, I really like that. But, I do have, like, a little bit of magical sickness, and it kind of sucks. But I can't infect anybody unless I want to, and I don't want to do that to anybody.
What kind of magical sickness?
As the conversation is going on, I'm just gonna pull out one of the barrels and like kind of set it on the table.
Yeah, you pour yourself a mug. For every mug that you poured.
Yeah, okay. How many mugs was that?
There are 5 mugs on the table, but you guys don't have to fill them all.
I don't really know.
I was about to say, who I want one.
Lumia. I mean, maybe you guys can help me? I just kind of woke up like this
Oh.
one day.
Oh, so you
One
weren't
day.
born with it. You just woke up and you were sick.
Maybelline.
Maybe she's been worth it. Maybe it's magic sickness.
Bro. Fucking cat, dude.
Yeah,
Sorry.
one day I just woke up with it, but I can't harm anybody unless I want it to, and I don't know why I would want to do that to new people.
So does this how is this affecting you natively? If you can control if you can hurt somebody with it or not?
You
Kind
generally
of
don't feel good.
with my magic and stuff. I kind of get sick and like I only use it to harm monsters, I guess. So far, but I kind of just feel kind of, sniffly. Alcohol actually does help.
Warms
Mox
the
is
bones.
just in the background, like wheezing, catching her breath, and eyes watering.
I'm gonna slide
You're okay,
one of the
Mox,
mugs,
you're okay.
tankers over to Lumi after I fill it up.
Give him a nod of thanks and honestly chug a lot of it. Because this is a lot.
I can't say that I quite understand your situation, Billy, because I'm not even gonna. I don't know quite much about magic myself. So if this is a magical sickness, I don't think I can be. I don't have much information. But I know you said you wanted a mug of ale, so here, and he just extends the mug of ale.
I drink it right away, and while I'm eating the fish and stuff. Yeah, I know a lot of stuff, but it's kind of new, only for like 3 months I've had it, so I'm kind of still getting the hang of it. But it doesn't like harm me right now. Yeah, I just kind of sniffly, like all the time, and that's why I have like ice patches on my body and stuff. But it doesn't feel too. It doesn't feel too bad. It's not like a problem.
I was just about to ask. Is the ice patches uncomfortable? Like, are you able to like melt them off at all?
Oh no. I'm always cold. But it doesn't. It's comfortable. Like,
Okay.
I don't need to be warm. I can just be cold, and that's fine. And usually I swim in cold water anyway.
Gotcha. All right, just as long as you're comfortable with it. As he says that as he takes like the biggest gulp from his tankard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Moggs drags herself up and plops into a chair finally.
Are you
Yes.
okay, Muggs? I'm sorry for scaring you.
So what's up with the disease?
I can't give it to anybody. Not
Okay.
unless I want to. And I don't
Alright.
want to do that to you. But whatever you're doing was really cool. You gotta show me how to do that.
You are very surprising.
Thank you.
So, I mean, not to be impolite, but I do think we should have some conversation about you, joining our troop.
Yeah,
I mean-
what are you guys doing? Like, where are you guys going?
Well, we're so far just, investigating a few things and doing a few commissions and, doing general road warden work. I think our next stop is going to be in Swarvel.
Swarvel!
Do I know anything about Swarvel, DM?
You're aware of the fact that it very recently came under fire for a disaster occurred in Swarvel that effectively eradicated a third of the livable space, and so there's a lot of refugees and stuff like that.
Are we going to help them? That would be very nice.
Otherwise, you're aware it's also the biggest city in the on the continent.
That's.
Are you guys going to help there?
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, that we were coming with caravan full of supplies, and I believe that's where it was headed.
Oh wow, okay.
I did want to ask, and please forgive me if this is rude, but what happened to your last party?
Oh, we were in a big monster fight. It's okay though. I mean, they let me get out safely because they knew that I wasn't like I wasn't with them for long. I was only with them for about like 3 months.
So you're basically saying, not when you say they just let you get out, more so that they stayed behind to let you.
Did they perish?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
But I have I went back for a lot of their stuff, so I mean I keep them with me, and that's good.
Mine are in a cave.
Where? Your party?
Cave. Yeah, my family.
Are they alive?
No.
I'm sorry, Moggs. That's not
I'm
good
alright.
either.
I'm sorry to hear about your situation, Billy. That is terrible. So, I guess what did you do after that? Did you just come straight here to regroup?
Yeah, that's what they told me to do in case anything went wrong, you know. And this is the first. I'm assuming out of character. I'm assuming DM. This was the first place that I could find.
After what happened to your previous road warden party, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I pretty much came here to regroup.
I'm glad you made it safely.
You haven't been here for a really long time, but you've been here for maybe a week or two.
I've been here for about a week or two, so I've gotten kind of lay of land.
Why is everybody sleeping outside?
Do I know that?
Because the majority of the actual structures that used to be here fell into the mud and started to collapse, and so they decided to remodel the city in such a capacity that that would not happen.
There was too much mud.
They distribute the weight through the pillars that actually reach like a solid ground beneath all the wet mud, so that way those don't sink further.
I guess it's just easier to like put the stilts in the ground and kind of just raise everything up so that people aren't sinking into the mud anymore, because that was happening.
And if they apply actual roofs and walls and stuff of that nature, that will simply just be too much weight.
And yeah, it's just too much weight for all of it. I'm sure that maybe they could clear out the mud somehow, but I think that would take like a bunch of like magic, like a lot of like.
Certainly.
And I don't mean to bring up your party again because I'm pretty sure that was hard to go through, but you said they were attacked by a monster. Do you remember what this monster looked like?
Do I?
I mean, it was a monster. It wasn't anything specific.
It wasn't any. Yeah,
Did it have spines?
No.
No.
I think Billy probably can tell, but everyone else can definitely tell that Moggs is drunk.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we're just letting Moggs vibe and be drunk.
Yeah, Moggs is just like Moggs.
I feel
Moggsing.
Billy has the sheepish look on her face, like, oh no, I did that, but she's kind of like, once she comes to, she'll probably think it's cool, because she kind of gets the vibe that Moggs is very inquisitive.
Mine had big spines, and then I turned it into Webby.
Whoa.
I wouldn't. Inquisitive is a word, but I don't think it's. You know, Moggs is Moggs. She'll be okay.
I'm weird.
No.
Yeah.
I'm weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I drink.
So, is there anything that you're looking to accomplish? Like, what were your plans? Like, what was your party like planning on doing?
we were just kind of fighting and protecting people on the road. But I have a quest to do. But, you know, I'd rather get paid for traveling as well on it because I can't afford a lot and getting things is really hard.
Hmm. I, especially in this environment.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, tell me about it.
What quest
Crazy.
are you on?
I have to find somebody and they're like hidden and it's really hard because Suo's like really gone and she starts mumbling to herself and she starts taking out notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks onto the table and you know
Oh.
it's really hard to find everything and there's a church there's the church here and I tried going to talk to her and she wouldn't really respond. Like I felt her, but she wouldn't respond in the way she used to talk to me. But I have to find this guy and he's like buried or below the ground and guarded and
Pius is like taking a swig from his tankard with the most confused look on his face as she's speaking. Like he's
Wait, who?
and he's trapped.
Someone named Suo?
Yeah.
Underground.
Seeing all these books being produced,
Suo's-
Moggs
it was
takes out
Suo's
the
friend.
guidebook as well.
Here and she gets out like a piece of paper that's kind of would you say it's kind of lavish, Bill? Or is it like scribbled down?
The piece of paper?
Yeah,
For what?
for what you sent me.
Did you write this down? Because Suo did not write it down.
Okay, I would have written it down.
Yeah, so whatever way you wrote it down then. Yeah, Suo just told it to you.
Yeah, it said it's a good friend of Suo's, and I have to find him.
I also feel like this is important before we continue. Suo is one of the main three deities of Ashela. She
Okay.
is the goddess of nature and the goddess of the sphere.
Caius is literally I promise you, I was like, oh, this is a person.
May I ask a player question about that, Bell?
Yeah, what's up?
Because I'm kind of like D&D ignorant, but like I thought
sure.
when we were talking about magic, like there's two different like sources, sometimes deities, sometimes not. I thought that like folks that weren't clerics or paladins would probably not have like an assigned deity. Like, is this something that would be out of the ordinary, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
The way that you're kind of interpreting this, I'm glad that you asked that question. Minnie, with your permission, I'm going to give her some insight into what's going on here.
Yeah.
You get a strange vibe from the way that they're talking about Suo. They are not talking about Suo as though they were worshiping Suo. They're talking about Suo as though they were having a conversation with someone. That they were... that is literally... It is not possible to do that. At least not in modern times. It used to be possible before the Brothers' War. Because before the Brothers' War, which is the war between Aurelio and Golemon, the gods walked the earth.
Oh. Okay. I'm glad I know that.
You don't gauge that this is sort of deific worship, and this is much more of... It's hard to explain.
It's
Billy
just
gets
weird.
out. Billy gets out a script, a piece of paper, and she like opens it up, kind of dramatically. It says, "You will find him, a good friend of mine yet to be born. He'll be trapped by magic and men, angry. You will be asked to pay a price easily accepted by others, but not so by you. Your payment is laced with poison, though you do not wish it to. It is there you'll find him. Look below, and he will be there." And I like fold it back up really dramatically and tie it with like a bunch of ribbons and put it back in my satchel. So
Harvey,
that's my quest.
the last thing that you were told, Harvey, by your friend from your dream is that Roxanne was looking for someone with a prophecy.
a prophecy to find the crown of Brambles?
Yes.
This is the DM putting one and one together for Harvey and then injecting it into his brain.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was doing like off-screen math.
No, it's fair.
Okay.
This might be the person that Roxanne was looking for.
Do I have my my little whispers?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You've never used them
Okay.
before, but
No,
I'm
I
going
haven't.
to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that like your new friend has probably told you that you can do stuff like that if you really applied yourself.
Okay. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna perk up a little bit, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
That's
Bide your
my
time.
quest, but it's really hard to decipher. So if you guys could help with that, that'd be great. I'm sure we're gonna have to travel a bit.
Well, I feel like. Well, player question again. You said this is a deity that would we all know of this?
Every person on the planet knows Suo.
Okay.
It
gotcha.
is as pervasive as God. it is as pervasive as the real deific figure.
Gotcha. So
the three most pervasive deities are Golemon, the craftsman, Aurelio, the dragon god, and Suo, god of the sphere.
Gotcha. Okay.
In fact, Suo is said to be the only deity who survived the Brothers' War of the three of them.
Oh. And
Golemon was buried beneath the earth. Aurelio was destroyed and split into 5 chromatic dragons, but Suo never participated.
And at this moment, I guess after like listening to the name Suo a few times, he's gonna like perk up and lean in. Like, didn't that guy say there was a church of that?
Yeah,
Suo here?
they have a church here.
Have you tried there yet? What did you find out from there? If you have,
I did, but she didn't answer.
Oh.
But I didn't see her there either. You know.
Do you normally see her?
I did, yeah.
Oh, and where was this?
At my home, my homeland.
The Frosted Lands.
The Frosted
What is
Lands.
now known as the Frosted Lands.
How would I say this?
The Frosted Lands.
In the Frosted Lands.
For specifically Lumia, the Frosted Lands is a wasteland.
Okay.
It's not really habitable.
I think Lumia might be looking at her like she's a little bonkers right now. But is open and receptive to the information because she's curious.
And you said that was the last time you saw her?
I mean, I think I had to travel a bit, but yeah. That was a while ago.
And how and
you
when
you see Webbigail kind of bounces up and down and goes, "How long?"
Oh my gosh! And I was about again. I'm trying to. Kai's is
Mel?
like really trying. He's not
Well,
very.
how long?
I'm gonna DM you a number.
Because the follow-up question is now, when did you get this magical sickness?
It was like, well, the sickness was. Did Caius ask that?
Yep.
Yes.
In the same sentence.
Yes.
It was about 3 months ago, and then I talked to Suo like 6,000 years ago.
His eyes go like wide, like he chokes on his tankard of ale for a second.
6,000 years, huh? Do we know the lifespan for a Selkie? This is a player question.
The lifespan for a Selkie is like 80 years.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
I was frozen.
So, like, if you remove the frozen part, how long have you been alive?
What?
If you don't include the time you were frozen.
Like, how old are you if you don't count being frozen? Or when were you frozen, conversely?
Like 20 years old? 21? I forgot.
It's been 6,000 years after all.
Technically, and 3 months.
Jeez.
You see that the waitress comes back with those additional napkins that she promised before and kind of sets them down on the table and sees this very strange sort of like gathering of people drinking ale and remaining silent in the face of this insane information that they've received. And she kind of goes, Is everything all right? Is there anything that I can get you?
Moggs is lightly snoring.
Perhaps a room for the little one. I'll get them a room key.
That sounds like a good idea.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
Sort of steps away.
So
It gets you all.
I'm sorry, this is a lot of information, guys. I know.
No. Oh no,
That's fine.
Everybody comes from all walks of life. This
So-
is just one I haven't heard of. Like, Caius is like really dumbfounded at this point.
That's a perfectly reasonable response to hearing that someone's 6,000 years old.
Well,
So, what are you guys doing?
you know, I think I don't want to speak for everyone here, but this sounds interesting to me. I think it would be nice to have you in the party. You would like to travel with us.
I would love to.
I do want to learn more about this because
It's making my head hurt.
Yeah, my head hurts a little too.
This is almost beyond the stories of what I've heard back in the tribes.
Where are you from?
I come from Fayowen.
Do I know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I do know what that.
But yeah,
You
where I come.
you kind of get the impression of completely fish out of water. They're from 6,000
Yeah.
years ago. The whole continent looked different then.
Yeah, like 6,000 years ago, I don't think my tribe was probably not even a speck of existence.
No, yeah.
So,
You are fairly certain all of the countries had different names and were run by different people, and the continent, the literal continent, looked different. The Brothers'
gosh.
War sundered the continent.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of the places. So now, Lumia, you're kind of connecting one to one after hearing that, where it's like, oh, she said she lives in the Frosted Lands because that's the best metric she has to inform me that she lives in a place that no longer exists.
Yeah, it's like it's coming together, but also not.
Yeah, hearing that someone was frozen for 6,000 years is a little bit insane. However, it lines up with the time that the Brothers' War was happening, and Aurelio, the dragon god, was throwing around a lot of natural disasters and doing a lot of crazy magical shit. It's not an unreasonable assumption that that many people could have gotten caught up in the mix, and Billy might just be one of a long list of people that ended up being what most people would consider killed, but what, fortunately enough for Billy, perhaps as a consequence of their magical affliction, ended up simply being displaced.
And this is something that Lumia is clocking, right?
Yeah, I'll also say
Really?
Harvey is definitely clocking this. Like, Harvey, the gears are turning, the neurons are firing, man.
Yeah, the hamster's going.
The neurons are connected.
My head.
I'd like to show Billy a list of my the main 4
Okay.
key peeps.
So the main 4 is, is Unoble's name on there?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got Unoble, we've got the Dragon
Giora.
Queen, and Giora, and then Roxanne.
Yes.
Cool.
I want to slide it over and be like, hey, do you know anybody on this list?
I'll take a
no.
look.
You got no clue.
No clue.
I'm sorry. I don't know any of these names.
No, that's okay. I had a hunch.
What are these names?
Oh yeah, I guess I would.
I have no idea what this is.
Can I spend like the next 10 minutes catching Lumia up?
Yeah, so Lumia,
Quickly.
you're given the information. Unoble Havelace is a person who's talking to Harvey through his dreams, and Unoble is looking for a thing called the Crown of Brambles. The Dragon Queen is plotting to do something evil with it. Roxanne Lamore was a member of Unoble's party and was the brains of the operation, who was tracking a person with a prophecy that was their next step on the journey to locating the Crown of Brambles. Also, Roxanne Lamore is friends with the White Elder Dragon. Which, yes, that is also fucking insane to hear, because the White Elder Dragon is effectively 20% of a deity. One of the two deities of the Dragons War, or the Brothers War, was Aurelio, and when Aurelio died, he was split into the Red Dragon, the Green Dragon, the Blue Dragon, the White Dragon, and the Black Dragon. If this is the White Dragon, the White Elder Dragon, that means it is 20% of one of the two people who literally changed the face of the planet 6,000 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for the download.
Yeah,
That's what I've got. I figured if I did it, it would actually take for a real 10 minutes.
Yeah, I
Are
figured I
these
would try
the
to give it,
people-
and I figured I would actually make it like a USB thumb drive deal.
Sorry, that was me yawning. Harvey, are you looking for these people?
I'm looking for Roxanne.
Rocks. And what?
Oh, damn it.
I'm gonna hate this joke,
Oh my god.
but like
Pius is
I'll-
sitting there like, yeah, that's what I said.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Like, so at this point, I guess Caius is like, I want you to know Caius is gonna like do 3 more mugs. At
Go
this
ahead
point,
and make a Constitution save, just one.
Could I say that Billy
Oh,
has
no.
drinking some too? And maybe some wine.
Sure. Anyone who has been drinking, make a con save.
Okay, sure.
Oh, Caius, what's your total?
oh yeah, that's right. I'll be looking at it like it's a flat roll sometimes. It's a. You said a con save?
Yeah.
It is a 12.
You've been through 3 mugs, right?
Mhm.
You're not doing too hot.
Hey man, say man.
You got a nice, what feels to Caius is a nice buzz, but in truth is like maybe a couple steps away from sloshed.
Gotcha. So I guess at that point, Caius is like, he's not gonna go completely belligerent. He can feel it. So after he does finish that last one, he kind of like takes the keg and put it away, unless anybody else wants more.
No, I think I'm good too.
Gotcha. So at that, I guess at that point, like he like holds the keg around.
I'll
Harvey,
do one more. I'll do one more.
he pours a little bit more for Harvey.
Yeah, so anyone else who rolled con saves for that, what'd you guys get?
I got a 12.
12? You're not doing too hot.
I got a 10.
Lumia, you're doing even worse.
God.
Moggs is still unconscious.
It's just a really heavy Caius is not a pillow. Except on Tuesdays, and then falls back asleep.
Except.
And Billy, you're drinking as well?
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay, everyone is drunk. In their own way, everybody is inebriated.
Well, I would say like after like as much as the conversation and stuff we've had for the night, just drinking and talking about this, this 6,000 old backstory is like blowing my mind.
That is crazy.
So you said we already have our rooms and everything prepared, right?
Yep, she's giving you keys.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm okay
I don't
with
even
sleep.
know. I was about to say I don't even know if we're like coherent enough to like continue like a civil conversation. Are we?
You are enough to continue a normal
Okay.
conversation, yeah.
Because I at least want to like solidify the idea of Billy joining the party.
Sounds good.
I know
Yeah.
Moggs already said yeah, but I hope I didn't scare her too much.
She'll
I
be
mean,
fine. She's very
Yep.
adventurous.
You'll have
If
to
she
try a lot
wants, she can
harder.
always help me figure out what it is.
She's good
And-
at that.
Plus, I feel like it will leave a bad taste in my mouth
And I
after
do-
hearing what happened to your last party.
And I do cast magic.
Left a bad
Right,
taste in my mouth.
Oh, Moggs.
Oh, Moggs.
So, if that's the case, I feel like Kais is gonna stand up from his chair and like, oh man. And I guess signal over to the barkeep. I mean, if everybody's, I'm not gonna speak for everybody. Kais is ready to like kind of retire for a bit.
Cool. You guys want to head to bed?
We're
Oh,
decided. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Nice.
So you guys go ahead and head upstairs to your respective rooms. You all have your own rooms. They are not lavish, but they're definitely not what you would be getting anywhere else in the city. You have an actual
fancy.
bed. You've got a bed. You've got a nightstand. You've got a mirror. You've got a chair. A place to put your things. A chest at the foot of the bed. Clean
Are we all in
sheets.
separate rooms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is still a little noisy outside just because of the nature of this city. There's not really a place that's far enough away from any of the thoroughfare to be fully noiseless. There's actually like one or two of the sort of wooden pathways that go either over or adjacent to this building that's on the ground. And as always, there is the constant drizzle of rain. Sometimes a gust of wind will come through and blow some of those droplets into the windows and sort of create that little, that sort of peppering sound of rain droplets on the window. But aside from that, it is a very comfortable environment. Is there anything anyone wants to do before they go to bed?
I would
Yes.
like to leave.
Oh.
No.
I would
Stop.
like to
No,
get
that's
out of here. I want to.
Fuck you too.
This place sucks, and I want to
Let me
leave.
rephrase. I would like to slip a magically scribed note under Caius's door.
Okay.
That
Webby carries Moggs up to the room by attaching to her like normal, but so it looks like Moggs would normally be walking around riding Webby, except Moggs is just completely limp.
Like there's a couple of moments where Webby struggles a bit because like even though Moggs isn't directly intervening or doing anything when Moggs is mounting Webby normally, there's still like you're not fully dead weight, and now that you are, Webby's like, there's like limbs in places I'm not used to them being while I'm trying to walk. But they manage fully to get you upstairs and get you into a bed and kind of curl up alongside you. So the note, the magically scribed note, I assume this is using,
it is the
magic tattoo, right?
yes, it's the Illuminator's tattoo and then attuning to it.
Fuck yes. Okay. So you've written a message and have slipped it beneath Caius's door. Caius, I will say that you are awake enough to where you do hear the fluttering of a paper beneath your door. Perhaps you were just about ready to get to bed.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up.
Okay.
And-
The paper is open. What does it say, Haru?
I mean,
Or is it invisible to him because you want to
no,
fuck with him?
it's that would be really funny. No, it's just like that. I think that Billy might be the prophecy holder that Roxanne's looking for.
Oh yeah, we did talk about
Because
this.
Caius and I talked about it 1st.
Mhm.
Mhm. So, and I can't respond to this, can I? I can only
No,
read
it's
it.
a piece
Gotcha.
of paper.
You would
and
have to
then
go and knock on his door.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
when you stop touching it, the ink vanishes.
True.
Kais is definitely going to take a mental note of that. But and after he's done reading that, he is going to go out and find Lumia's room, just knock on her door and leave the sculpture that he's had for her for a while now of her, and then head back to his room because he just hadn't had a chance to give it to her.
Aw.
I'll say, Lumia, you have like fully gotten in bed and snuggled up, and then you hear like, boom, 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 and then nothing, and so you like crack open the door and you see a little wooden sculpture on the ground.
That's so cute. I pick it up and I give it a smile because I know Caius made it for me. It's very cute.
Beautiful. The fucking duality of man here, where one of them wants to twirl it like a glizzy.
I twirl it like a glizzy. Harvey says.
Harvey made good on it in the end, but it was fucking hysterical.
He did really twirl it like a glizzy. Make good on that.
Okay, yep. So you guys have a full long rest. Anything that you guys have expended returns. I am going to go ahead and say we are.
Hang on, wait.
Yep, shoot.
I think Lumia was about to go ahead and hit something.
No. We're all good.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I was just going to mention we're getting close to the 4-hour mark. This would be a roundabout where.
Oh shit! What time is it?
Yeah. Time's flying.
Oh my god!
It's almost midnight where I'm at.
It's wild.
Yeah. Time flies during roleplay sessions in particular, man. I don't know what it is. It just feels kind of like you're just having a conversation, just chatting, just shooting the shit.
You want to know what
and then
time I thought it was? I thought it was 11 my time.
Damn.
No, it's like almost 1 a.m.
I thought it was 9:30.
Well, a good number of revelations have occurred during this session. Are we okay with ending here so that we prevent like brain short circuiting?
Yes.
Cool. I think that's definitely super fair.
Go for another 3 if you want.
Awesome. So this may come as something somewhat of a surprise to all of you, especially because you've just recently acquired a new party member. First and foremost, everybody add 200 gold to their inventory, because if you have accepted Billy as a party member officially, you will get the 200 gold. That includes Billy. Billy, you do get another 200. But in addition, everybody is level 4.
What?
Oh shit!
Let's go! Holy!
You just guaranteed Jinxie will not get to bed before 4 a.m.
Yeah, I'm fucked, dude.
No.
That sucks, bro. The process for level up as a caster.
Holy
Probably
shit!
Minnie too.
Because the funniest part about this is level 4 is when you get your first ability score improvement.
God damn it.
Which is where you can choose to either put +2 in one stat, +1 in 2 stats, or get a feature of a list of like 50.
Look what you did.
Cool.
Oh wait, I know what has to happen here. All right, never mind. I don't have too much to think about.
That does mean
Mine's
that your hit.
straightforward too.
That does mean your guys' hit point maximums are going to be increasing.
Let's go!
If anybody wants to roll for those hit point maximums, you can.
Oh,
But remember, my recommendation is always to take the average.
What's the average again? I'm so...
Oh, you're fine. Well, you're sorry. The average of a D8 is 5, and then you'll add your Constitution modifier to that. I believe that applies for everyone here except for Billy and Caius. Billy, it depends on what class you're taking.
I just
Because-
rolled a 6. Unless you wanted me to roll in Tailspire.
I'll take your word for it, man. So you have a D6 hit die anyways. I don't want to make your life harder.
If I were taking level and monk, I'd
Are you
probably...
rolling, Caius?
I am. You see that?
I'll hold you to it. I'll hold you to it.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
man. Hey, look.
Oh my
hey,
God, oh
bro,
God, oh God.
I'm here for it.
Come on!
Yeah, what do we? I want to roll too.
Oh, fuck. Where'd it go?
Damn, you should have taken the average.
It's
That
cool.
sucks.
It's
What is
cool.
it, an
It's fun. No, it's a 2.
A 2 on the
Oh,
die.
what you
I-
mean? Yours.
Yeah, what am I rolling?
Yours is a D8, yes.
Yeah.
So it's plus con mod, right?
Yep.
I'm amazing.
Oh my God.
Nice.
The one good roll of the night.
Yeah, honestly, if there's any time to get a good roll, I would
Plus
say,
9. Let's
I would say that
go.
would be the time.
So mine would be +4 then, if I'm thinking
plus
about
4,
that.
yeah. If your
Okay.
Constitution
Here,
modifier is
wait.
+2.
I have my screenshot that I took
Well,
because I screenshotted
I'd say
it at the
save
time.
the previous levels.
Your roll. Oh fuck.
Let's go! Oh God! Yeah!
Yeah!
We
Oh.
Lumia's like, fuck that.
Y'all can play if you want to. I took my cute little 5+1 and I'm
So
happy.
with all the rolls that have been happening and whatnot, Lumia, what is your current maximum hit points?
21.
Is that including what you
Oh,
took? for
not
your
what I just took.
average
I'm so
level?
sorry. It's 27 now.
27, beautiful. 27 is a very solid chunk of hit points. Minnie, what is your current maximum?
I am at 30.
Holy fucking shit. Caius, what is your current maximum?
35.
35. Harvey, with that wonderful roll, what's your charisma?
28.
Is that including the 9?
That
I think
I went from 19
Oh,
to 28.
you already fixed it in. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Moggs, what does that bring you to?
28.
20. Okay, beautiful.
Let's go.
I'm
All's
weak.
well that ends well.
But you're hard to hit.
27, 30, 35, 28, and 28. I think you guys have a very sizable sort of collective party health pool
You
to
said
get
at
you
200
through.
gold. Don't say it like that.